The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
So, two things to start off the show, ladies and gentlemen. One, we told you so in regards to the Nazis being gay and trooned out, apparently, because this shooter from Rhode Island apparently was not only a troon, but also a Groyper as well. Hence the
hold on, Max. Max is here, I swear. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you know, we've said that before, that the you know, that
and he's an old school Nazi too, on top of being a Groyper, right? Because he had an SS tattoo.
Oh yeah, there was.
Yeah. Hey Sam, breaking news! You're probably going to hear it here first, you and everybody else. Did you hear that his son is the one that burnt down the black church in Texas last year?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and he targeted it because it was a black church. 37-year-old man is the son of the Pawtucket shooter. And yeah, it's a whole crazy rabbit hole. And I'm going to tell you, Sam, I used to play hockey at that arena when I was a kid. Just flat out. That's the truth. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like seeing a video of a bunch of young men that were like me in their whole hockey uniform, ready to take their turn. You know, they're in second line, they're waiting for the line change, and then gunshot you. And I know what it's like being in those booths, and you're fully in your skates and your gear, you got your stick, and they all just start diving to the exits in panic. And man, my heart goes out to everybody affected by it. This whole community is affected by it. I guess the whole country in a way, but
yeah,
this is awful. I did just send you a link, Sam, to a video from a friend. We've watched at least one of her videos on the show before, Gothic. She's from Pawtucket, and I'll just say this, she's more on the left about some things than we would be, and I think you'll find what she has to say quite interesting too. Rhode Island, Pawtucket, this area, we're you left, right, center, fed up with this kind of shit.
I
agree.
I agree, and I was just saying to someone, it feels like, and I'll just kind of start the show with this. It feels like we have these radical trans shootings like not even every year, every couple months now, to be honest. And I mean, I hate to say this, I'm not saying that every tranny is a shooter, but it does seem over the last few years that every shooter, at least for the last 5 or so, because I actually went back and really thought about this, for like the last 5 years or so, it seems like every mass shooter is also Sam, a troon.
You're not wrong, and it's been longer than you think. It's been for the last 10 years that the number one group that commits mass shootings in America are male to female trans women, and the number two group, Sam, is female to male trans men, and then the number three group is Asian men, and it's not even close. They're so far below, and then white and black are all really close to that same number. No, if you look at a graph, and I can find one if you give me time, but there's a graph out there And it's like the bar for trans shooters is here, and the bar for every other group of men, women, or whatever is tiny. Yes, trans shootings are happening at a rate far greater than any other kind of mass shooting. And also, Sam, I want to point out that they are purposely calling this not a mass shooting, because they're saying because he targeted his family members that it is not a mass shooting. Well, he shot, yes, and killed his family members. He also shot and injured several other people that were present, and he did it in a public place, and he shot more than 5 people. Stop telling me this isn't a mass shooting, and don't tell me it's domestic violence.
Amen. I really couldn't
That's
have.
absolutely a mass shooting.
I couldn't have said it any better
It's
myself.
terrorism is what it is.
And
Facts.
I initially had another video queued up first, but I think this video from Gothics, which I did see this earlier, but I think it's worth viewing again. I think this is actually a better one to kind of start talking about.
Look, there's not too many people that can claim that Pawtucket means a lot to them in this world. And the few people of us that exist that care about this, maybe it'd be nice to hear what we have to say, because this has never happened here before. And God damn it, we have red flag laws in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. So there's no excuse. Sam, people are talking about the tranny thing and the Nazi thing. But let me tell you something. This guy was clearly fucking crazy no matter how you slice it.
Yeah. No.
So why are we fucking dancing around that? Oh, like they're saying basically the same thing. It's interesting that he's both, right? They're saying that if people are so extreme on the right, it's not because they're crazy, it's because they're politically motivated. And if they're so extreme on the left, it's not because they're crazy, it's because they're trans. Well, let me tell you something. It's both. They can be trans and they can be crazy. They can be a right winger and be fucking crazy. And this guy was both because he was extra fucking crazy.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have had a fucking gun. By all the laws here, he should not have had a gun. All somebody would have had to do is call up and say one thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too, is I've noticed that the usual ban guns crowd, thankfully they aren't really speaking up because
there's nothing they can say, Sam, because the assault weapons ban got passed last year, and for the first time in Rhode Island history, we've had 2 mass shootings.
fuck.
They got an assault weapons ban, and immediately our place is getting shot up.
Yeah, fuck. There's really no other.
They have assault weapons ban, Sam. They have red flags. There is no carry here at all, concealed or otherwise, unless you're a cop. Did you know that?
I
They don't,
That's
in
big.
Massachusetts in particular, they don't just recognize your CC. You can
Damn.
have a CC from another state and still go to jail. Also, to get a gun here, you have to actually, it's a May issue state, same with Rhode Island. So they don't have to let you get one. They can just say no.
So it's may issue as in, well, we may not.
May not,
Right.
instead of a shall issue state, which is that they will. Yes. You actually,
Right.
in some cases, in some counties and things, you have to write a letter to the police chief saying that you're safe and everything in order to get this to happen. I don't know about the case for this guy, where he's from, where he got his guns. I'm just saying, under Rhode Island law, that man not only shouldn't have had guns at all, but he shouldn't have been carrying them into a public place at all.
Right. And based on everything that I've seen, it doesn't seem like these guns were the type that you could like easily conceal them or get them through security measures
Yeah,
either.
well, he just didn't, because the thing is all these laws have made it so he just walked in and started shooting.
Yeah. So
as of 2022, New York, where I'm at, is a shell issue. I did not know that. Holy hell!
Yeah. So shout
Yeah.
out to Gothics. I've known her for a long time. She's really cares a lot about this area. She's running for the State House of Rhode Island now. And 6 days after she announced running, by the way, she hates politics, Sam. She's like me, and she's running because she feels there's no other option. And 6 days later, her hometown got shot up by this crazy person. So I just like to see I would like our audience to get what a normal center left person from this area might think about that.
And I think that's worthwhile.
Absolutely.
Rhode Island. And I'm sure by now you've all seen the videos circulating of the shooting that took place at the hockey rink. And, I find this so ironic that this so happens to be the same district that I would be in charge of if I were to get elected for Senate. And before I made this video, I was thinking about how do I address what happened without it coming off as though I'm trying to politicize a situation. But the reality is our current legislatures are already doing that. They're already politicizing this for their own agenda. And I think if we're serious about addressing violence, like what happened yesterday, we should have the humility to be able to reassess what's working. And a big part of that conversation comes down to what are the laws that are currently on the books. And so I'm looking at the current representatives in our General Assembly, and they're giving like the most topical response to yesterday's tragedy. Oh, my thoughts are with the victims. We shouldn't normalize violence. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no shit. We shouldn't.
No shit.
Can you offer anything else aside from that? And here's the thing is that they can't, right? And so I'm going to
Hi, Jonathan Rumi here. Pray with me for just a few seconds from the book of Joel.
They
Yet even
can't,
now, says the Lord.
or they won't.
Walk you through my thoughts because I have a lot of thoughts regarding what happened yesterday. And then I am going to politicize this in a way that's meaningful, because we can't keep doing this year in and year out. Whenever there's some type of a tragedy, particularly as it relates to gun violence, the instant reaction is we need more laws. This does nothing. Okay. And so let's start with number one. Rhode Island already has red flag laws on the books. And so if you don't know what red flag laws means, it's basically if someone is struggling with some type of a mental crisis, that should prevent someone from obtaining a firearm. So the first question.
So first off, I do want to commend her and UMass for bringing this up, because this is usually the go-to talking point whenever there's a...
Yeah. In other states, it's we need red flag laws. Well, guess what? We have the most extensive ones in the country, and it didn't help one bit.
Right.
Because nobody was willing to red flag this obviously insane man. They're doing interviews with people that knew him, and everybody says he was fucking crazy. He was dangerous. He was aggressive. None of them, including his now deceased family members, was willing to red flag this man.
And that's a thing too. Unrelated, but I guess it still applies in this case. When I've talked to Andrew Nelson, and heck, when he was on the show with us a couple of years ago, the last time, he even mentioned that the cops can't do anything with these crazy individuals if people don't call.
Right, like how a red flag law would work. Like, let's just pretend for a second we don't think it's a dumb idea, right? So it should work that you put in a call and that the police investigate based on your testimony, as well as any evidence and a mild investigation into the individual to determine that perhaps this person should at the very least be put on a hold from purchasing firearms. This is how it's supposed to work. They tell us this would solve all our problems. Sam, if nobody in your family is willing to give that testimony because they think that you just need help and you can get better, then the red flag itself, red flag law, is useless. It's useless. If the people aren't reporting this guy, those are the people. I hate to say this, Sam, but his ex-wife and at least one of his children are dead. His ex-wife, she didn't red flag him. She divorced him. She got a protection order, but nobody bothered to check if this guy had a gun. And now there are dead bodies in Pawtucket in a children's youth hockey center. And we're mad about it, Sam. So
Yeah.
I don't want to steal her thunder because I really want people to see what she has to say about this. But yeah, we need different ideas about this.
Yeah. Well, I also wanted just to
Red
pause.
flaw log, yeah,
Yeah.
that got me.
in
It
this
is a red
situation is
flaw,
to
though,
find
ain't
out
it?
how this individual got this firearm to begin with. That's the first thing. And then the other thing, I think it's the big elephant in the room because we're just talking about mental illness, is so it's been coming out that this individual is a trans identifying person. Now, this is where a lot of people on the right may disagree with me on. I don't necessarily think that every person who identifies as trans is a risk to public safety. Okay. I don't believe that. That's a gross generalization. You know, I, for one, have lots of criticisms about the transgenderism ideology, but I also know people who identify as trans and they're good people. I've invited some of them to dinner, to church. They're nice people. And so I'm not going to waste my time with comments like this that don't actually move the conversation forward. I think that we can address some of the issues that pertain to situations such as this shooting that took place, but doing it in a more productive way that's not putting everyone in one camp.
And for the record, we basically have the same stance. It's just unfortunate that the vast majority of the shootings over the past couple years.
What's happening is that is changing people to be less and less tolerant of it. You know, if we actually look back, Sam, 5 years ago, the average person would be, if you asked them directly, would be a lot more tolerant of trans than they are in 2026, and maybe 2015, right?
Yeah.
If you asked the average person and did a poll, most of them would say, "Oh yeah, trans." I mean, even if they thought it was a little weird, most of them would think it's not a big deal. Now in 2026, a lot of those people will say, "Yeah, trannies are running around killing people."
Well, and if you think back to like 2015, 2016, the whole trans thing back then was still new-ish.
Exactly.
It wasn't really in the lexicon. So a lot of people were like, yeah, it's weird, but like if as long as you're not hurting anyone, like I don't, care.
Yeah,
And
now they're
now,
hurting people.
yeah.
And so it's harder for a lot of normal people I mean, if all they see is this, what are they supposed to think?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I did just want to point out though that I do think her remarks on that are valid, and also, I'm making comments, to transform this too. So
Now, according to the surviving daughter, because if you didn't hear by now, again, I find it hard to believe you haven't because this thing has made national news. But according to the surviving daughter, this was her father that shot her family members and eventually took himself out. But according to this daughter, she says that her father had a long history of mental illness. So one of the things that I see wrong with how we're addressing this mental health crisis is the fact that oftentimes people aren't getting the treatment that they need. Instead, they're getting the treatment that they want. In other words,
Sam, if you
we
could
are
pause
not
for a
putting
moment.
people on.
Sure.
The treatment issue she's talking about is topical, and I just wanted to throw it back to chat here. King Ravana says, was guy on steroids and hormone meds? Is this not a valid question? I would wonder this, Sam. We used to point out in the pre-trans shooting days, where mass shooters, Alex Jones famously would point this out, almost all of them had a prescription for some type of SSRI medication. Now we're
Yeah.
seeing trans shooters, and I just want to ask the question, can we find out what medications that they're taking? And if it happens to be these hormones, mayhap we have a culprit.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And by the way, I was also right there with Alex Jones on the whole SSRI thing. I've shared on the show before about how I changed doctors once while I was in college because one doctor suggested that I get put on SSRIs for stress, for just like plain old stress when I was in college, and I didn't like that recommendation, and I also didn't like that that was the doctor's first go to. Um,
Yeah.
Of course it is.
you know, it's a
It's
a
it's interesting because we've sort of come full circle on that, where doctors, particularly in with pediatrics, children, are less likely to prescribe medications than they were 10, 15 years ago at the first sign of things. And I think that that's good. But
yeah.
what she's talking about is, and she hit it on the head there when she said they're getting the treatment they want, not necessarily the treatment that they need.
Yeah,
These
well,
hormone therapies are the treatment they want, but I don't believe the evidence backs up the fact that this is the kind of treatment a man like this needed. In fact, it seems to have made things worse.
well, and if you remember at the beginning of last year, in 2025, when we were going over the whole Doge thing, I think it was Maxine even pointed this out at one point when she was doing Doge things. A lot of the Doge stuff that got uncovered, a lot of those were going towards studies, quote unquote, that were we're going towards like promoting the trans healthcare
Yeah.
thing.
And
So
and then a lot of it flies in the face of the medical evidence that we're seeing. One thing I find interesting, Sam, people will point to the trans suicide attempt statistic often, which varies from 40 to 45% in a given year. That is how many of them attempt to take their own life in a given year, percentage wise. Okay. But did you know, Sam, that pre or post treatment, that number doesn't change?
I actually did know that.
Yeah, it does not change. It doesn't go up, but it doesn't change.
Yep.
Meaning it's just completely, the treatment is not even registering on the scale.
Yeah.
Exact same number of them do the exact same thing after treatment or before treatment. So then why are we treating them this way at all?
Well, and from what I've researched, on my own, it seems that the whole the reason why people want to convert in the first place, it usually has to do with some trauma or mental illness that has nothing to do with gender in the first place.
Or a fetish. Let's just be real. This guy is a 56-year-old man who decided when he was 50 to turn into a woman. There's a thing, Sam, called autogynephilia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this
No,
man had multiple mental illnesses and fetishes and let them take over his whole life. And everybody wanted to, as soon as one of those crazy people, see, if he had not held up the flag of I'm trans, they might have stopped him.
Maybe.
yeah.
But he held up the flag of being trans, so they were afraid to say that he's crazy.
Yep.
Yep, that's where we're at, sadly.
On
Also,
a
shout out
path
to
towards
the real official
In
amazing Adam
1800,
out
there
in
was
the
not
chat,
a
too.
single country on earth that had
Indeed.
abolished slavery by law. Not one.
self-sufficiency and regaining their independence. Instead, we're keeping them in this perpetual cycle where they have to consistently depend on other people in order for them to deal with whatever mental health crisis they're going through. And that should not be the goal. The goal should be getting to the root cause of whatever it is they're dealing with psychologically and addressing that from the ground up, as opposed to putting a band-aid on it and expecting them to be okay. I agree. Having senseless acts of violence like this is not normal, and we should not normalize it. Likewise, having so many people in this country go through a mental health crisis is also not normal. So we have to take a big inventory as to what resources and what measures are we taking.
This is something that John Guarnieri, when he was on the show last year too, he talked about doing security for bands and at events. He said the amount of people, the amount of calls that he got regarding potential threats,
It's through the
uh,
roof. Sam,
it's through
we
the
didn't get
roof.
stalkers in my day doing that as much as he was talking about at all.
No.
That was actually surprising to me how much worse it is, but it makes sense because there's more crazies. They're more connected via online and everything. But yeah, he's getting calls all the time, right?
Yeah. In fact, he just DM'd me like 2 weeks ago about like another one. You know, something like it's anyone who works like, security for any of these events, like, hats off to you because, you know, like that's a tough job to have to vet, potential crazy people.
Yeah, with a penchant for they're going to do whatever thing is in their head. And you can't even know what that is. You just have to stop them. It's tough. It's the same job law enforcement's having. And, it's like she said, the treatment is clearly not working. Can we just stop pretending that trans immunes you from mental health treatment?
Yeah, well, that's what really needs to
And by the way,
change.
inpatient mental health treatment is not like, I will not sit here and allow people to act like that is persecution.
No, it's not.
Agreed.
I think at this point it's impossible to even argue that, right?
Right. Right. Because if you're not doing hospitalization, then you have this. This man belonged in a hospital. He was making threats the day before.
Pretty much. Yeah.
To address this situation, instead of saying, oh, we need more mental health funding. No, the funding isn't the issue here. Okay. I mean, it might be in certain circumstances, but from my perspective, the real issue is the fact that we are affirming mental illness instead of addressing it. Mental
Yep.
health is not a one size fits all situation. Okay. Different people come from different backgrounds. They have different things that they're trying to overcome. And I completely understand that. But the goal should always be getting someone back to the right state of mind. So now here's the other piece of the puzzle that we have to address. It's how do we rebuild the family? Because again, this tragedy was a domestic situation. So obviously there were issues within that family unit, but the family is the backbone of our communities. If you have a crumbling community, it's because you have crumbling households. So how can we rebuild the family, and what can we do from a legislative standpoint to support families so that we keep fathers in the home, so that we keep kids off the street, so that we're not incentivizing single parent households? What can we do on a policy level? Ultimately, the government is there to govern. But if the government is going to promote anything, it should be to stabilize the nuclear family. Now, if we're not doing that, we have to wonder, why do they want to see our communities crumble? And finally, the other thing we need to do is take an honest look at how we are currently handling violent crime or crime in general within the state of Rhode Island and nationally. Are we letting violent offenders just walk free, just a slap on the wrist? Are we prosecuting people who are selling firearms illegally on the street? These are questions that I think a lot of people when they get caught up in their reactions regarding another shooting, is that they think, oh, we need more laws, we need more background checks. We have all of these things. Rhode Island has a 7-day cool-off waiting period. It's supposed to be this thing that, oh, well, if you were going to use a firearm to commit harm against another person, the 7 days will be enough to cool you off. And again, we don't know how this person got the gun, if they got it legally, if they didn't, but clearly something is wrong here. Okay, we need to go after the people who are putting these illegal firearms on the street, and we need to address the fact that you simply saying have a timeout 7-day waiting period isn't addressing the underlying mental illness that is still prevalent in our society. We have to address it at the root instead of slapping a band-aid off on it and thinking that that is going to fix the problem. The last thing that I want is for this video to come off as though I'm trying to politicize someone's tragedy. But at the same time, we have to come to terms that the current members of our General Assembly are already doing that. They are already politicizing this for more anti-gun legislation when
And I'm glad that she's bringing that up too, because whenever somebody who is, I'm not saying that she's on the far right, but she's not on the left. And it seems like whenever anyone who's not on the left, says anything, it's, oh, you're just politicizing
Well,
this.
the reason I wanted to play this in particular, I mean, one is because shout out to Gothic. She's a friend. She's running for
Yeah.
office, and I support her wholeheartedly. As you can see, this is basically like a very much nicer version of the same shit I've been saying, because this is how everybody around here feels about the shit. More or
Yeah.
less. Some of us, like me, are a bit mouthier and meaner about it. Some, like her, are a little more kind towards the trans community or whatever. But at the end of the day, we are all sick and tired of violence in our community.
Yeah, no, I think she's great. I actually watched a few interviews that she did a few years ago when she used to appear on Eric July's YouTube channel a lot. So glad she's
I'm
running
glad
for
she's
office.
running. There's somebody right there that I can think, at least if she's in the Rhode Island legislature, I know there is one voice that I feel like I can trust.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't live in Rhode Island. I live in Mass, so I'm not going to be able to vote for her. So I'm suggesting anybody, hey, if you're in Pawtucket, just take a look, because she's obviously the most reasonable person running.
Yeah, I know of at least one person who lives in Rhode Island who tunes into this program. Obviously, I'm not gonna shout them out publicly, but you know who you are, and I think that this is I think Gothics is probably your best choice if you listen to this program and have views similar to ours. So, yeah.
told you about all of the gun control bills that we currently have in the books that didn't do a damn thing to prevent this from happening. Okay. And so this is just the reality. Like I said in my earlier video, that I'm running for Rhode Island State Senate, not because I want to, not because I have this desire to be within politics. I hate politics, but because I am pissed off that we are entrusting people to have the reins for this state, and they don't actually care. They don't care about addressing these issues. They don't care about fixing these communities. They don't care about addressing the mental health crisis in a way that's actually meaningful. Instead, what they're doing is they're putting band-aids on stuff and piggybacking off of the latest tragedy so you can keep them in office. And I am sick of it. I don't know if you guys are sick of it, but I'm freaking sick of it. We owe it to the victims to look at this situation objectively and reassess what's working, what's not. Okay. And that's exactly what I'm going to do if I get elected. Again, it's going to sound gross to some people that I'm trying to politicize this. It's already happening. And if you want some change to take place, you're going to have to put different people in charge that will make that change. Yeah, that's all I really had to say, guys. There was, like I said, someone's going to.
Yeah. I mean, I think that she did a really good job laying out her.
And I wanted
case.
another local voice to suggest, like, this is not just me. Like, people have been saying, Max, you're freaking out about violent crime. You're saying shit. You're going off the wall. Yes, the average person around here is fed up with anarcho tyranny as well. That's what this is. It is tyranny of the anarchy around you, so that you are powerless and paralyzed from living your normal life. That's what they're doing. And also at the end there, when she talking about they don't care about this, they don't care about that, I'd also like to point out, unrelated, Sam, have you heard about the Michael Jackson stuff this week?
I've heard of some of it.
Why is everybody now surprised that oops, it looks like maybe he wasn't a pedophile.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't listen to that song. All I'm really saying is they don't really care about us.
Yeah, well, and then
Michael Jackson was speaking out literally about Epstein.
yeah.
Literally Epstein, he was pointing out, was a harm to children.
Yeah, and then Prince was talking out.
Yeah, it's funny how all of my heroes were talking about this, huh, Sam?
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? And also that I knew all about it and I was right about so much. It's almost like I was just paying attention. DMX, Tupac, Eazy-E, fucking Michael Jackson, Prince, Hunter S. Thompson. These are all people that I'm a big fan of. And coincidentally enough, they all said that the elites are fucking kids.
Yeah.
And all of them got treated like scumbags by the mainstream media for it. Some of them are dead for it.
Pretty much.
Michael Jackson's dead for it.
Yeah. Mel Gibson, I mean, he's not dead, but he was proven right.
Hey, they didn't kill DMX. They just told everybody he's a crazy crackhead, right?
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, like, they don't always kill you when you speak out. It's just if they can reduce your credibility. See, Michael Jackson, they tried to reduce his credibility. I think we all know how that happened. But at the time they were trying to call him this basically Epstein, right? He was actually flying kids over to that Neverland Ranch to keep them safe from literally Jeffrey Epstein.
That was I remember reading that and I'm like, "Oh, that actually makes total sense."
Yeah,
Michael Jackson was the anti-Epstein. Holy shit.
It's because he was getting diddled when he was a fucking kid, and he was like, some people, they grow up and that becomes their mission, right? I'm going to stop what happened to me. And maybe he could have done it in a better way, but they tried to ruin him for it.
Yeah, and it's like
when that didn't work, they got his doctor to give him a little too much.
And clearly, and I'm not saying this despairingly or anything, but clearly he had psychological trauma of his own that he was dealing with. So, in that sense, I believe he was doing the best he could. In hindsight. So,
speaking of stuff that come out this week, Sam, Hillary Clinton sacrificing chickens to Moloch. Did you think that would be on the bingo card?
I did not.
That was one of those things where I didn't think it would be on there, but like once I saw, I'm like, yeah, this kind of tracks.
Makes sense.
If she actually does testify in front of Congress and they do not ask about that email, we should put every single congressman on trial for treason.
I agree.
Agreed.
I don't care their party. If you're not asking her about why she's sacrificing chickens to Moloch on Epstein Island, then you are not fit to serve.
Yeah, I agree.
And you're hiding something.
Now, maybe she'll say it was a joke. It's a really on-the-nose joke for her to make, though, huh?
Yeah, it's
Hillary and Obama both smell like sulfur.
Well, also the fact that the South Park literally made that joke like 15 years ago with sacrificing chickens on the Wheel of Fortune wheel. Yeah, that was a thing.
All I can think is that that Alex Jones folk song was more like prophecy,
Yeah.
like, I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murdering scum.
Yeah,
Sit on an island and eating babies' body parts. What more do you want to know?
Yeah. Norm Macdonald was talking about that too back in the 90s as well. So
People wonder why I'm so like laughy and jokey about the whole thing, and it's because I get it, y'all. You're looking into this for the first time, and some of it's the thing is some of it's so crazy because it's not actually real. It's like a witness testimony, and some of it is real. A lot of it is real, and a lot of it is real, and what people are going through is a sort of grief. But like a guy like me, I went through this a long time ago. Like I've always looked at the people in charge as baby eating lizard men. And once you do that, you start to understand that you shouldn't trust them.
exactly.
Now,
But
they might
Matt,
not be literally made from lizard DNA. That's because their reptilian species comes from another planet, so it's a different strain. It's more silicone based anyway. But
yeah.
the results are the same. You see, lizards eat babies. They need a supply of babies to keep going. And for some reason, we put them in charge with all the resources to get all the babies they want. And you were too busy watching Jersey Shore to notice. Sorry, but that's what happened, you know?
Yeah.
Too busy watching the football game to realize that this island existed where they were sacrificing babies to Moloch and
Oh yeah. Speaking of, it's not like that. It's not like there was ever that one Super Bowl halftime show where Beyonce made like a satanic symbol or anything live on stage.
well,
That totally never
they've
happened.
they've gone to be very openly satanic in the last 10 years. And do you know why, Sam? I knew
Yep.
why. I knew why. Because the average person was still like, it don't be like that. It do be like that, Mr. Stancil.
Yeah.
They eat babies.
It'd be like that for a long last time.
And
We has the document. Sam, I did the clip for the Jerky Boys bit I did last week, and there was like a comment from some like middle-aged soccer mom who said, "I make the jerky every week. It's totally just beef, and anyone who thinks otherwise is stupid." And I said, "Yeah, they'd be about as stupid as somebody that takes a comedy bit this seriously to go, actually it."
yeah, I saw that.
Anyway, the shorts did good. People like the Jerky Boys bit because hey, if you can't laugh at the fact that this is going on, then what you might cry.
Look, shorts are doing well now, apparently.
The reason, Sam, that I make such over the top smiley jokes is because I'm a happy clown, not a sad clown. Nobody
Well,
likes a sad clown.
no.
Look at Johnny Fox. Speaking of which, triggered the fuck out of that boy this week. He's gone off. I'm not even
Good.
like all I did was one tweet, and this boy is losing his mind.
Well, yeah, I saw that. Apparently he still can't get over the fact that compared to him, I actually am a best-selling author. Which, speaking of Max, we just went kind of down like a really depressing rabbit hole. So to kind
That's
of
why I
lighten,
went to Johnny Fox
Go
because
the
it's
book.
funny. But you got
Go the
promo. I
book.
know it. Promo's way better.
to
Do the
kind of
promo, Sam.
to kind of lighten the book, I have not one but two things to show. One of which is the advanced
Ooh.
reader copy of American Inferno, and as Mort pointed out when I posted this on Twitter earlier this week, I believe. Well,
It's
Mort,
thick.
yeah, Mort said,
It's a thick boy.
yep, a thick boy. 331 pages of
Sick.
thickness, and it's pretty fitting too. American Inferno, a Shadows of Deception thriller, book 5 in the series,
That's right.
which, oddly enough,
I wish I had the sample stem, Sam, but your promo is coming off because I'm going with that. I saw the pictures you put up, and all I had in my head was like, boom, ba-dum, bum, I'm on fire. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's gonna be the promo.
Yep, and not only that, Max, but we also have another thing to preview because the mighty Doug Green is back to do the
Hell yeah.
audiobook, and he did such a banger with this one that for the first time I am going to preview the intro, the introduction, which I wrote to American Inferno. I could read this and it will probably still be good, but I'll let Doug read the introduction. This kind of shows what the book is about. So, without
Let's
further
go.
ado, here's the introduction to American Inferno, narrated by the one and only Doug Green.
Introduction. From the beginning, the Shadows of Deception saga has wrestled with uncomfortable questions. Who really holds power? Who shapes the narrative? And how often are crises engineered not to solve problems, but to consolidate control? Throughout this series, I've explored themes of shadow governments, deep state corruption, informational warfare, propaganda pipelines, and elites manipulating institutions from behind the curtain. These ideas are not new, nor are they purely fictional. In our own reality, we've witnessed the rapid rise of political extremes on both ends of the spectrum. Movements fueled by social media manipulation, bot farms, algorithm-driven outrage, and influencers who may be far less independent than they appear. The weaponization of information has changed the battlefield. And increasingly, that battlefield is domestic. I began writing American Inferno while finishing Sins of the Assassin, knowing that the next installment would turn the lens inward. Instead of focusing primarily on foreign threats, this story would confront escalating tensions inside the United States itself, how division is amplified, how fear spreads faster than fact, and how a fractured nation becomes vulnerable to forces that thrive on chaos. Then tragedy struck in the real world. The assassination of Charlie Kirk on September 10th, 2025 was a horrifying moment for our country. It was the product of sustained dehumanization. The idea that political opponents are not simply wrong, but evil, irredeemable, or deserving of elimination. At the same time, radical factions on the far right, groups Charlie Kirk himself openly rejected, began rising in response, further deepening the spiral. Moments like that force hard questions. Who benefits from polarization this severe? Who profits from outrage? Is this simply the result of tribal anger, or part of a broader agenda to destabilize? In American Inferno, I chose to confront those questions through fiction. The assassination of Charlie Kirk is reflected in the story through the fictional character of Daniel Harrington, whose murder ignites the events of this novel. This decision was not made to sensationalize or trivialize a real tragedy. It was made to grapple with it, to explore how violence, once normalized, can be manipulated and redirected for strategic gain. Fiction allows us to examine uncomfortable truths at a safe distance. It allows us to ask, what if, without pretending to have all the answers. I met Charlie Kirk once during a Skype call in 2013 and exchanged messages with him over the years. I did not know him well enough to call him a close friend, but I respected him as a fellow conservative, as a political commentator willing to debate, and as someone who believed ideas should be confronted, not erased. Writing American Inferno has been cathartic. It has helped me process grief, anger, and the unsettling reality that our political climate is more combustible than at any point in my lifetime. This book is dedicated to Charlie Kirk, not as a political symbol, but as a reminder of what happens when rhetoric hardens into dehumanization. At its core, American Inferno is not about left versus right. It is about manipulation versus truth, manufactured crisis versus accountability, and the danger of allowing ourselves to be weaponized against one another. If this story makes you uncomfortable, it is meant to. The fire in these pages is fictional, but the tensions that inspired it are not. Welcome to American Inferno. Sam Whitfield, February 12th, 2026. When people stop talking, that's when you get violence. You start to think the other side is so evil, and they lose their humanity. Charlie Kirk.
So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the introduction to American Inferno, which comes out March 10th.
And you too can get the audio book with the great Doug Green as well.
Yes. That, I'm not sure when the audiobook will go
But
out.
you know it exists because you just heard the preview.
And so again, thanks to Doug as always for doing 5 books and actually 6 books in the
Bring us
series
back up
now.
so you could close up that beautiful book. Thanks
So,
to Doug Green again, though. That was great, by the way, Sam. He really brought. He's sort of been your voice in the series, right? Because he's read all of them.
Yes.
And I definitely do. When I hear author Sam Whitfield, I hate to say this because maybe it sounds bad, but I hear it in his voice.
No,
I'm
hear
reading your work. I'm not hearing Sam, and it's not because I don't like your voice. Me and my wife were just watching some of these shorts, and one of the things we thought is the funniest thing in the world is like your laugh is infectious. You know, when you find something really funny on the show, everybody's laughing at that point.
right.
But author Sam Whitfield to me sounds like Doug Green. I don't know.
Yes. No, I agree too. Which is why, like, even you could count the introduction as like nonfiction, right? Because that is, even reading the nonfiction part of the book sounds like there's just some gravitas that he has reading the introduction. That,
Definitely.
yeah.
Oh, Yoy, humongous out in chat. Check out Home Invaders on Steam. He's been putting out updates for it as well. If you already bought it and played it, because you're in our audience, you might have. Go check it out again, and he's got more coming soon. So big shout out, Humongous Games on Steam.
Yes.
Home Invaders is the game.
So also all of the previous books in the Shadows of Deception saga are now only $4.99 ebook.
Nice.
So and that's not a sale price. I've just lowered all of them across the board. So
buy the books.
Buy the books. Paperback is still the same.
You got what? Oh, just over 2 weeks before you can try and catch up.
Yep, 14 and look, 12 to 14 bucks for a book is not bad. I get these people are like $15 for a book, and it's like, well, clearly you haven't been to a bookstore lately if you think that's a lot. So and yeah, always happy to shout out.
Hey, we ride for the homies.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Speaking of which, Sam, I've been talking about projects I'm working on. I have something to share. I just sent you a link. I told you I'm working on 2 albums. I got the one I'm recording. I'm actually going to be singing and rapping and stuff. And I have an AI album that is Dave and the Grady's.
That oughta good.
The name of the album is going to be I'm Still That Guy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And so, in honor of I've almost finished the album, Sam, I'm going to let you play the first single off of the album.
which is
Nice.
I need an answer, and I want an answer now, Sam.
this sounded good.
It will. You'll like this.
I need an answer and I want an answer now. I have a big fucking huge question. Ready? Check this out. Ready? Check this out. Why do they make these things upside down? Why? Hey, a spider. Why do they make them upside down? Why? Why the fuck do they build trailers with these fucking things upside down? Why? Why? They're all over my goddamn fucking place, and they're upside down. Why don't they make them right side up? Why? These things should be right side up, not upside down. It's stupid. It is absolutely fucking stupid to build these things upside down. Absolutely fucking retarded. Fucking retarded. Why do they build these things upside down? It is absolutely fucking retarded. Retarded!
So, quick question. First
Yeah,
off,
that was Dave and the Grady's with "Why did they build these things upside down?"
that was a well. First off, that was a major banger.
I love that it made it a live sounding Bob Marley sounding song, right?
Right?
Like,
It was great.
Yes. So, would it not let you Would it not let you do retarded? Is that why you had to do
correct. Yes.
Okay,
But as you
yeah.
can see, We Todd Ed works perfectly fine.
Yep.
So
It actually does because that's how it would sound with that accent.
I've used that for metal too. The only thing is I cannot get any of the ones to help me do the one about he's not a pedophile. There's just no censorship I can do to that video that will make one of these things work with it. But I do have the album is going to be 10 songs, Sam, and there's a secret Johnny Fox track on it too. And then the
Ooh.
other album is going to be about 10 songs, including me singing in different styles and rapping. So that should be coming out within the next month or so. The single is going to hit fairly soon because I'm going to put together a promo video for your book.
So man, we've got I'm working on the trailer footage for the book, so I'll have that to you hopefully by Friday or Saturday. But man, we've got books coming out, we've got music coming out. Right to Offend Media is owning independent media right now.
Yeah, we're trying to make content, unlike a lot of other people. It seems like they're content to just look at what other people do and say, "Oh, that's cool," or "Oh, that's stupid."
And there's a whole
Well, I'm out here being stupid, Sam.
Well, we all are.
It be like that sometimes.
So, also, did I see that you got retweeted by Alfie by
Emily
Will-
Eucas? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. Dude, Emily is cool as shit. That's the
That's
thing. And she's gotten big with the Will Stancil soap, but I've been a fan since like Alfred Alfer, which is what you're not saying there. Alfred Alfer's her original cartoon. It's really fucked up, But if you know, you know, and it's one of those things that if you liked it, you're gonna follow her, and she's always made really funny content. So yeah, shout out to her. I was basically trying to get her over onto the Fake Untitled podcast to talk about AI in media, which I think would be interesting.
That would be
Now then, we could get her on to talk about writing and comedy. See,
yeah.
well, yeah, I don't know. I've had a interesting week on Twitter interacting with people. So that's fun. I got followed by Scott Steiner, based.
Nice.
That's right, Sam. I am a genetic freak. I told you.
And you're not normal.
I am not normal.
Well, being normal is boring.
Yeah.
And
Well, you
overrated.
can bring the other screen down now. I just wanted to share the debut of the hit Dave and the Grady's single.
That was awesome though. So
It's not all gonna be reggae. The album varies wildly. I have some love songs in there. He's doing a love song to Jacqueline Glenn. He also does a diss track to Jacqueline Glenn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and a fresh, completely original remake of everybody's favorite Dave song, "I'm That Guy." So,
Well, we all know that Dave is that guy.
oh yeah.
For real.
He's that guy jerking off. Speaking of guys jerking off, Johnny Fox is upset with me. I started with this, but I actually do want to discuss this one this time, Sam. He said he invented Xbox Live or some shit, and I was just like,
Yep.
I retweeted and I'm like, oh yeah, old Johnny Fox, he built Xbox with his bare hands. And this gentleman has been spurging out. He tweeted at Cog and Mersh for help, Sam. And you know what that did?
That's hilarious.
It got the Pod Awful cult members on his
Nothing.
case, which he thinks I probably sent them. But no, you tweeted at Mersh and Cog for help. So Pod Awful henchmen. By the way, he also thinks that those guys are Jesse. They are not Jesse. It's just cult members. It's just some dudes
That's
on Twitter
funny.
that saw that he was an easy target. And man, did he. So he's been writing all week about me. At first, he spent all Valentine's Day talking about me. It was crazy.
Well,
Johnny, I have a Valentine. I'm a married man.
Well, clearly he's in love with you, Max. I mean, if you spent all Valentine's Day, talking at you, then like clearly he must have feelings for you.
Yeah, but he's still talking about me. So what does it mean now?
Well,
literally right before I went on the show, he was still tweeting about me tonight.
Well,
I haven't said shit. I haven't even tweeted all that much, if you notice.
Well, yeah,
I certainly haven't put out a video since then.
Yeah, well, Max, you might have a stalker then. If
No, I'm the stalker. I'm an A-log. He loves to say that, and I'm a stalker. And the why do I care what he did 10 years ago, not understanding that he's just doing the same thing by lying about being the guy that, like, he said he was the project lead at Xbox Live. I'm sorry you're not Phil Spencer, Johnny Fox, but you're not Phil Spencer. You fucking right. He was trying to bring, and then that same post, in the same post I fact checked, he said dozens of women. As in he has dozens of, I don't know. It was just the sentence structure is thus, Sam. Dozens of women, period. So I don't know what that means. If he has them or he just thinks dozens of women existing is a win for him. I'm not really sure. Because it seems like he's complaining about girls breaking up with him at the same time.
Well, I mean, maybe he's jerked off to dozens of women. I don't know.
Somebody better go check his trash piles, Sam, because we know that those trash piles were already pretty fucked up by him jerking off on them before. And if you don't get any of these jokes,
check his Facebook.
Check out Cringe Coffee House on YouTube, and I have the full Johnny Fox collection, and you can laugh at this guy. And that's what he's really mad about, is I made fun of him. Like, he says 10 years ago was the beef, Sam. Was 2022 10 years ago? I don't think it was.
No.
No.
I mean, look, he's well, I know he's mad at me because I know he's mad at me because like I laughed at him.
That's it. If you laugh at him, you're his enemy for life, man.
So,
Also, he doesn't care what you think, but he spends a lot of time talking about it. Also, Sam, want to point out he's not talking about me at all.
well,
He never mentions me. But let me ask you this. He said that if he sees somebody, quote, bragging about being a juggalo, he thinks that that means that they're either a meth head or an incest baby. Not about me.
I mean,
I'll go you one further, Johnny Fox. Check out my cool ICP tattoo.
I've never heard you brag about being an.
You see that, Sam?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess that makes me an incest baby meth head. Because I like to band. But he's also not talking about me. He doesn't pay any attention to me. Bro, like anybody cares. Imagine being locked in the mindset that like, oh, if anybody's a juggalo, I have to make fun. What is this, 2012?
In his mind.
Do people really care about juggalos anymore? Really?
Apparently he does.
Positive, negative way at all, right? Yes, actually. Juggalo Championship Wrestling is blowing the fuck up. You know it. I know it.
Nice.
Everybody's talking about it. Matt Cardona was their champion right before he went to WWE. They got the zombie tag team versus the clowns. The shit's popping off. 2026 is not the time to be like juggalo equals the worst thing ever, because it just makes you look like a dumbass. And I'm sorry if everybody's like, oh, it's cringe that you grew up liking a band and doing things. Oh my God, Max, you did things. You went to concerts and you did things in a community with other people and you went whoop whoop and painted your face. Yes, I did. What did you do sitting on your computer jacking off to porn, bitch?
You went outside, Max?
Yes, and I know. And you guys have seen over the years, I ain't even full of shit. And I know so many cool artists because I did.
Yep.
So while we're on the subject of Johnny Fox, you know how he totally didn't ever like leave any reviews, and that was totally someone else.
Oh, you caught his ass in fork. Sam, I need a screenshot. Johnny Fox. Oh my God. So what did he change the name on the account and then it popped up on the review?
Yeah, so remember when this review first popped?
Bitch.
Remember when this review first popped up? It was like written by like a Mike, by like a Mike somebody or something. I knew it was him. We all did. She
called it.
But like, yeah, someone changed it. His Amazon, by the way, like 4.1 out of 5 stars, 6 reviews, and he's the one who's left a 1-star review. Not even a verified purchase.
Oh, no. I'm going to throw this up on Twitter now. Yeah, he didn't purchase it. And again, if he didn't purchase it and you didn't give it to him, he didn't read it.
Right. Which I never did.
Because Sam, you're an indie author and your shit is very new. I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but the odds of your shit being in a used bookstore right now is 0.
Well, and also, Max, like, I just want to scroll up, if I may. The book he reviewed was the very first Shadows of Deception, which was published on which was published
2023.
which was published in 2023. So, and actually, that's a revision. The original one was published on July 4th of 22. This is
True.
this is so wait, this is even better because he
Yeah, so he went back to the book later on the second edition, so to speak,
and
and left the same review that is a review. It's a like we can't call it a review bomb because it's just one guy, but it's a fake review.
right. Yeah. Yeah, and that, and it's on
I'm
my
so glad you showed that to me, Sam. I'm gonna have fun. See, I was saying I wasn't gonna do much except talk about him on the show, but now I have to tweet about this so that he'll see that we're laughing at him. Bro, homie, if you weren't so busy trying to attack an indie author like Sam Whitfield, let me explain something to you. He knows most of the indie author community at this point, and he could have helped you out. But instead, we're going to mock you. And again, we had those indie authors, some of them know what a joke you are. How does that make you feel? Some of the guys you look up to have laughed at the fact that you faked a Penguin publishing deal when they're all trying to get out of publishing deals. And so they thought it was funny for that reason. It's not even, a guy's trying to fake something. He's trying to fake it while the whole industry is like, I don't want to do this. He's like, I got it. I'm the man.
No, we've actually had people on the show, or at least I've talked to people who have talked about how they left their publishing deals because it was so bad for them. Kyle,
he's trying to fake something that people are trying to leave.
Yeah, Kyle Mills, who took over the Mitch Rapp series, he got like a sweetheart deal with the industry, and even he left because he wanted to do his own series, and they basically wanted to be like, well, if you're not writing Mitch Rapp, then we have to give you all this whole new contract, and it wasn't favorable for him. So, yeah.
Well, and then there was famously the Penguin Random House lawsuit, which is where I learned a lot about the stuff. And the only reason I even knew it was happening is because Johnny Fox, as Penguin is getting sued for their bad business practices, was bragging about how he was the big star on Penguin. And the reason he picked Penguin Random House, I think, is because he really likes Stephen King a lot.
Well,
And
yeah.
that was Stephen King's publisher for a while. I'm not sure if it still is.
Well, yeah, and also just because, even if you're like a normie, when you think of publishers, right, like Penguin is like the name that most normies know of as far as
And famously, for those that aren't up to date on my Johnny Fox war, I called Penguin when he said that, and they said they'd never heard of him and they were concerned, and that I should talk to their legal department about it, which I did. I couldn't publish what the conversation with legal, but let's just say it didn't go great.
Yeah,
it went fine for me.
It would have been funny if they were like, it would have been what would have been even funnier. I know this didn't happen, but it would be funny if they were like, yeah, no, we don't have a publishing deal with this guy, but hey, would you like one? Would you like one?
Yeah, well, if you look at how bad Penguin was doing during the lawsuit, 12 books or more was impossible to sell for 99% of the authors on their label. So they were kind of desperate for people, apparently.
Yeah.
Can you sell more than 12 books? Ironically, Johnny might have been able to get a contract, but he'll never do that now. Why would Penguin want a guy that did that ever?
Yeah.
You faked being with our company. Also, all the videos that we saw about you online say that you're like an alt-right guy. Yeah, they didn't want any part of him.
Yeah, no, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Also, Johnny, you can scream about how I use AI all you want. I've been upfront about the fact that I use AI for like editing purposes and whatnot.
Yeah, you notice nobody here is screaming about AI at all, and I just debuted the AI half of my album single. Like, yes,
Yeah.
we do use AI.
Yeah.
The thing is, we don't feel bad about that because we produce a lot of non-AI content, brah.
Right. And the way I use it, it's more of like a tool. I don't just plop stuff in there and like wait
Hey,
for it to.
I had to just transcribe everything Dave said in the Ewa Spider video.
I know.
That's a little bit of work.
Yeah.
And then decide it sounded like a reggae song.
Well,
and then I had to I wanted it to sound Bob Marley-ish, but they don't let you just say an artist name to like emulate. So
Yeah,
it was
no.
like 70s lo-fi reggae. You know, I'm trying to like very specific. It worked.
Yeah, you to use AI properly like we do, you actually do have to like prompt it and what.
Also, you
And
can't
what?
tell me all AI content is bad when the Will Stancil show exists. And Emily did a lot of work on that. I don't know if you saw her on Pod Awful, but you can see the stems of her video edits, and it's insane.
I didn't see the full video, but like I did see clips that someone posted of those stems, and yeah, it's a lot, yeah. So
That's why it's good.
yeah.
There's a lot of human interaction with it. If she says it like this, Sam, it's like she has access to an animation studio.
Yeah, well that's essentially how I use ChatGPT. It's like having an editor. It's like having an editor like on call. That can like that can proofread and make edits, but I as the author still put in the legwork. So also, Canva is a super useful tool as well. That's how I made this cover, which pretty banger cover if I do say so myself.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Well, and you can tell as soon as you start reading, you can tell that it's written by you. Like,
Yes.
it's so obvious. Like, you know what I mean? You read AI and you know AI wrote something.
Yes.
And I read Sam's work and I know he wrote it. Because it has that, like, boomer sensibilities combined with, like, the Zoomer idealism. It's a very unique voice that he writes in.
I'm gonna put that in the blurb of. I'm gonna put that in the blurb section of the book, which there actually is a blurb section in here.
Nice.
It is going to be Sam Whitfield has boomer sensibilities with Zoomer optimism. Max Sand of Right to Offend Media.
Well, there you go. And it sounds great when you put it in the book in text. And it sounded like I was busting your balls here. But which one is it? Somewhere in between.
But a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
And
therein lies my... Okay, Sam, I've been doing really well with these, so we're going to get this one out of the way. Advice to young men. This time it's not necessarily about dating.
What is your advice today?
Okay, so young men seem to got these motherfucking problems and shit, right? Where like somebody will make fun of them and they'll be like, and Johnny Fox too, and they'll be like, oh my God, somebody has a negative opinion about me. And it's like, bruh, grow the fuck up. Who cares? What? I've had haters since before there was the word to describe haters. Who cares? I'm still out here. Everybody's afraid to be themselves. And this is what it really boils down to, because they're afraid if they act themselves and maybe act a bit vulnerable or a bit goofy or they're silly. Oh no, nobody can laugh at me even when I'm trying to make them laugh. They need to be serious. Everybody needs to see me as kids. This is the clavicular thing, the Johnny Fox 2.
Yeah.
It's the same old shit. Now, here's my experience. One, and it's not dating, it's like a male friend group. My male friend groups my whole life have all busted each other's balls nonstop, dude. Calling each
Same.
other gay for every fucking thing under the sun. You're a fucking retard. You're stupid.
Yep.
You smell bad. This is what we do. Is it true sometimes? Yes, it's true. Sometimes it's true. And sometimes you're supposed, when they say you smell bad, you're supposed to do something about it. But you know what you're not supposed to do about it, Sam?
Cry like a
Cry
bitch.
like a bitch. Oh no! Somebody said I smell bad. Yeah, take a fucking shower. Somebody said, I'm not cool. Who cares?
The proper response is your homie saying that you smell bad. Like, bro, why are you fucking taking a sniff that close?
Yeah,
You're a
and if
fag.
it's not bad that they're still smelling it, it's like, yeah, good. I'm doing it just so you have to smell it, bitch.
Or
I ain't been showering in 6 months just so you gotta smell my stench. Shut the fuck up.
or my favorite, really, because that's not what your mom said last night.
Yeah, or yeah, I smell a lot like your mom's pussy.
Yeah,
There's a reason for that.
classic. Yeah, a classic one.
Or you're smelling your sister's perfume.
Now, what I see from a lot of kids today, a lot of these kids are their idea of friendship in a male setting is like, I need somebody to validate my feelings. Bro, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat you up for that.
We have feelings.
Validate.
What the
I'm
fuck?
gonna validate your feelings upside your fucking head.
Yeah, I mean sometimes. Like
Therapy language. What the fuck, man? Everybody speaks in therapy language. Everybody
Yeah.
pathologizes everything. We used to not psychoanalyze everything all the time. What happened? Now everybody does that, and everybody's crazy, and nobody gets laid. It's almost like talking nonstop in therapy language has outcomes.
Yes, and also there is I think
So you can sensitivity train these nuts.
yeah. Exactly. Listen, how much sensitivity training do you think Mort and I had to go through? Actually, I take that back because I actually did have to go through
You got motherfuckers in sensitivity training, and you know it.
Yes.
Somebody was like, oh, this fucking cripple's in my way. And he's like, oh yeah? Oh yeah? Teacher, they call me a cripple.
Hey,
Then you're laughing at him behind the teacher's back like Eddie Guerrero.
Hey, wait a minute, Max. You're older than me. How did you know what I did? How do you know what I did in high school?
Lucky guess.
Fucking giving away secrets and shit.
It never happened to me. Never got in trouble because the cripple kid wanted to fuck with me, and he could. Yeah, that didn't happen. You people do that.
Well, technically I didn't steal a guy's girlfriend. His girlfriend just saw him being an asshole to me, and then she felt bad for me and decided that I was better than him.
I have stolen a couple of girlfriends.
See, this is what I mean. You're all like trying to sensitivize it. Like, I didn't steal his girlfriend. It doesn't matter. You got to reframe that bitch. You got to be like, I took his bitch, cucked his ass out. He thought I was something that he could fuck with. And guess what? His girl fucking with me now.
I fucked his bitch.
That's right. I pulled your bitch. What you gonna do about it?
Well,
hit a guy in a wheelchair?
Well, kind of turned out she was a bitch too, but I digress.
Bitches will be bitches.
But it was still worth fucking.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did you say, yo, bitch, is we fucking a what, Sam?
No, because I didn't know you yet, and so I didn't know to use that line. But I may or may not have I may or may not have slapped her ass, and then she turned around and was like super offended. But then she saw I was in a wheelchair and was like, I don't know how to process this. I don't know whether to be mad or
Bitches be liking that.
yeah. See that's the thing. That's the thing too. Women will pretend that they don't like that, but they do. But they love.
What you got to
But they
do is
love it.
shoot the titty nipples, Sam.
Oh yeah.
The titty nipple. Just because that one's fun to say. Like, you can say nipple, but when you combine titty and nipple, it just sounds funnier, right? Like the titty nipple.
Yes.
We all like us some good titty nipples. Also, Sam, it runs the thing of like, nobody can assume that you're gay because you're expressing what kind of nipple. The titty nipple. Well, guys don't have titty nipples. They have moobie nipples.
They have DSP nipples.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And there, DSP, there's a great example. This motherfucker jacked off on stream. Nobody cares. Well, no, people care. They're so busy making fun of him that they made him rich. So they're the real losers, the people that watch DSP.
Wait. So DSP pulled a merge
Back in 2016.
Oh, Mersh pulled the DSP, Sam. DSP is the original jacked off on stream guy, and I will not have you take that away from him.
Facts.
The camera is on. The camera was on the whole time, huh? The funniest moment in internet history, bro. It's on the whole time, huh? Yes, it was, Phil. Yes, it was. That might be his problem. He's all low energy and shit. Maybe you shouldn't jack off before the stream. Then you got that low T energy. See, I don't believe in fapping at all, but everybody knows that. I've been a no fap supporter for a long time, but it does seem like if you're going to do it, doing it before a stream and then being low energy kind of like explains itself, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
I'm
So
so
need a fucking nap.
I'm sorry, Max. I just can't get over the fact that like Johnny Fox ran to Mersh and British Mersh.
Tay says his comments are disappearing. I'm not sure what you mean. I don't know. We see what was in chat.
We see them all.
We see your comment.
If maybe if you tried to put a link to your game, that would get like auto 8.
Oh yeah, if you're trying to link to
anything. If you're trying to link to anything, it will delete that. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, if you send it to one of us, I think we can link that in YouTube chat. Oh, also, speaking of YouTube, I guess YouTube went down.
Well, I wasn't quite finished there, right? So okay, being a clown and getting laughed at isn't the worst thing in the fucking world. Is the whole point of the fucking story. And I'm so sick and tired of seeing these little bitches. And it's like one way that you can get a woman is to be funny, and yeah, in a way that kind of shows your ass, so to speak, in an entertainment-y way to say it. It shows a little bit of you just being a goofball. You're more likely to get a bitch like that than trying to be clavicular. I don't care what you see on his industry plant stream.
Facts.
Just be funny. And hey, if you think that guy mogs you, then you can't looks max. You may want a personality max. Or wealth max. Or how about, do you know what would be crazy? I pointed this out, Sam. They got this this triangle, right? It's looks, money, personality. Imagine, if you will, instead of maxing out to one of these corners, you went right in the middle.
What What a concept.
The 3 things women are looking
Oh,
for.
no
What if you
way.
had a little bit of each? That would be wild, right?
Yeah, that would be wild. Also, on the note of Cavicular, it's totally not like he's picking up other industry plants either. Brett Cooper.
Okay, YouTube
Never.
is filtering words from Tay. We'll have to look into that because I'll tell you this, Tay, if you want to speak without being censored in the chat, you probably want to check out the Rumble version of the stream or Kick. Because YouTube is just censorious sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know what word you said, but I agree with you. It probably should have been allowed. We
Probably.
don't censor stuff here, but YouTube has auto modding.
Facts.
Yeah, and I just checked on YouTube and I don't have any I have all the filters for words disabled. So
Yeah.
or as many as I can disable on my end. So yeah, I don't know what to say.
What's
on
great
that.
about being, see, I got made fun of for being a juggalo this week, Sam, but I want to point out what's great about being a clown is that when people see a clown walk out on stage, right? And that clown falls and busts his ass, everybody's laughing with him because he's a clown.
That's true.
You can't laugh at a clown. He's a clown. Unless he doesn't know he's a clown. Hey, guess what? Foxman. I'm a clown. I painted my
DSP
face like a
doesn't
clown
work.
not that long ago. Not even a Joker clown because that's cringe.
Yeah, that's always pretty passe now, right? Like that was 2008.
That's right. I'm more of a bozo kind of clown. Well, I'm a juggalo, so it's like I'm bozo from the hood. Johnny, I'm gonna give you some better material. This is another side bit, Sam. Johnny Fox, you need some better material. He's making fun of me. He doesn't know what he's doing. You could look at me. Crackhead might be a good one, right? Because people will buy that. They look at me and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, he's probably a crackhead." Bigfoot, caveman. What else, Sam? Help me out here.
Giant.
But see, he might like small guys like him or fat guys like him. They might see that as like a positive. It's got to be, you got to actually say something mean. He's already doing that. He's saying I'm a clown. Sam,
About
where have I ever
you?
said I'm not a clown on this show?
Okay.
Four eyes.
Retard, even though you say all the time.
Retarded 4 eyes.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because we're assuming now that people aren't going to look into me very much.
Okay, I've got one if
You gotta roast me, you know?
I've got one if Johnny wants to moral fag on you. Right? Max Sand is a smoker.
That's true. And a joker. And a midnight toker. And I do play music in the sun, Sam. And sometimes do get loving on the run. So, you know what? I'll take that one.
Damn it.
No one calls me a space cowboy, but I'm open to the possibility.
I was actually called a space cowboy once. No idea why.
That's because you were high as fuck.
I was
Probably.
still time.
Probably.
No, but it's like, oh, Max, you're white trash. I have 2 shows that I've named white trash something or other.
Well, to be fair, one of them is your wife's show.
No, that's a collaborative. Don't take that from me. I worked very hard on that, Samuel.
White Trash Core, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll have another one of those soon because that's fun. It's always a good time. But we'll have to get somebody and have an argument. And then I also did like white trash holiday celebrations, and those are some of my most viewed streams. And it's just
Yes.
me drinking and my wife and like playing video games and shit. And the other thing is like, do I think that that's gonna get me a bajillion YouTube views? He seems to think that I do. Sam, do I come across like I'm doing this to make a living at it?
No.
Pretty sure me, you, Mort, let's go further, Core, Craig,
Yeah.
Evan, we
Pretty
all
sure
just
none
like
of us
making
do it.
content.
Fact.
Now, we're not idiots that would be like, no, please don't give us any money. But we also just like making content.
Yeah, look. I've always said I've always wanted to make money doing YouTube. It's not my primary bread. It's not my primary bread. That's partially why I didn't sell out when I could have.
Craig, speaking of cool people, Craig Bob out in the chat says George Bush cares about black people. Turns out he does. He cares how they taste, Sam.
Yes. So
I'm going to hell for this show, Sam.
somewhat well hold on, Max. So
Just for this show. Let alone all the other shit I've done. Just for the jokes I've made on this show.
So Max, on Instagram, someone was saying to me, "Well, at least George Bush isn't in the Epstein files." To which I responded, "Well, we don't have the 9/11 files yet, and also George Bush." He was just bombing the Middle East. He was just bombing the Middle East for the love of the game.
Well, I mean, his dad is in the Epstein files. His mother is in the Epstein files. His brother is in the Epstein files. And I'm sure he is too, because we don't have them all yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this, Sam. Just because somebody is or is not in the important part I think people should take from these files is that yes, this shit was really happening. And yes, almost all of them knew about it, even the ones that you think are good people.
Well, also, I also
celebrities, politicians, even the ones that you like, let this occur.
I also want to say though that anyone who was mentioned in the files too doesn't necessarily mean that they were implicated.
Oh no, Grim Jim is the worst, man. They watched his video. Didn't you see that? Sorry. Friend of the show, friend of mine, Grim Jim, kind of a lefty guy, so some people might not like him, but I'm joking, so I should explain, right? Is that he got mentioned in the Epstein files because he made a video defending somebody from allegations, and that person saw it and then sent it to Jeffrey Epstein. So he never met any of those people. He never talked to any of those people. They watched his video and linked to it. And so he is in the Epstein files.
Well, and both Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh got mentioned in the Epstein files because Epstein wrote an email to someone basically saying how he couldn't stand either of them.
You know who's not in the Epstein files for certain, Sam? Kurt Doolittle. Do you know who he knew really well? Most of the people in it. Do you know why that is?
Because he's smart.
Yeah, because he didn't like those people very much.
Yeah.
Outside of like professional dealings, he didn't like the whole scene. Kurt Doolittle is a special individual, and I highly recommend people to check out his work because he worked with Bill Gates and all of those guys, and professionally, he even likes Bill Gates. But he said many a times, all of those high society elitists scared the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Like that they were bad people that he did not want to be around. And that is why Kurt Doolittle isn't in the Epstein files despite being connected to most of the major players in them. Because he thought they were disgusting and he left that entire industry to do philosophy, which he pays for out of his own pocket.
Yeah, go check out Kurt Doolittle.
Go
Great
check out
guy.
Kurt Doolittle and the Natural Law Institute if you want somebody who's, from that scene of the elites and has that kind of perspective, but thinks that they're disgusting. And thinks that the world should be run on less lies. That's his big premise. Parasitism, Sam. We need to get rid of parasitism, and lying is one of the biggest forms of it.
That would be then the entire elite would collapse, basically.
Bingo.
Basically. Also, speaking of people who worked in the elite industry but didn't really hang out with the elite too much, Robert Duvall passed at the age of 95. So, and he was also he was in a lot of films, but Falling Down is one of our favorites that we've mentioned here on the show before. So,
I'm not an actor guy that I can even picture him, to be honest with you. Like, I am so disconnected from normies about this kind of stuff. I know he's like super famous and I've seen him in films, but I can't be sad because he was 95 years old, and I think anybody that lives a great life like that, it's more sad for whom they leave behind. And two, again, you see, my perspective has been that these people eat babies. Do people start to understand why I think all celebrities are kind of cringe?
Yeah,
you either eat babies or you know about the people eating babies.
Totally. Don't eat babies. That would be a good starting point.
If you're neither one of those things, I apologize that I lump you into one of those groups, but everybody else is in one.
But Max, what about Donald Trump? That's the one thing
He knew about the people eating babies, Sam. He falls into that category, and we know this because he told the FBI about it.
Yeah.
Maybe not the eating babies part. The fucking children part, though. He definitely did bring their attention to that. So, yes, he knew. He fit in one of those categories. He knew. Now, with that information, what you do might determine how I think about you. Again, who are the guys I look up to? Michael Jackson, what did he do? Speak up about it. Prince, what did he do? Speak up about it. Tupac, what did he do? Speak up about it. Eazy-E spoke up about it. DMX spoke up about it. I could go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
But all of those people fall in that second category. They knew about it. Yeah. And what did they do? They tried to tell everybody about it. And it turns out, if you try and fight the powerful elite cabal that kills and eats babies, they'll fuck your life up.
Or they'll just kill you.
Who would have known?
Yeah.
How would you know that they would fuck your life up? You would think, surely these evil people that worship the devil and eat babies can't win. Well, they win because I'm going to be real with you for a second, Sam. Didn't we all kind of know that they were eating babies already? Like, didn't we all kind of know that?
Well,
like, people joked about it already?
Yeah, well, deep down we knew.
That's because we wouldn't do shit about it. Now we have it flashed in our face, and it's because they don't care anymore. They know you're not going to do shit.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what this is. That's what dropping the Epstein files is about, to see. They're trying to see, will people even do anything or call for anything? The answer is no, because everybody's too lost in the weeds. There's nothing. I don't see one consistent vision of anybody calling for anything to be done. Vague calls of, let's put people in jail. Who? For what charge?
Yeah.
Build a case. Get a grand jury. I'm with you, but when you just say arrest people, that's not helpful.
Well, arrest people, or what I've seen too is just throw them in the wood chipper.
Sure, but nobody's doing that either.
Yeah.
Right? And you want to talk about vigilante violence? First of all, I oppose you. I'm not a vigilante violence kind of guy. That's been very clear on the show.
I was going to say, Max, that this may be an unpopular opinion, but to all the people who are saying, just just throw them in the wood chipper. Yeah, I disagree with that because I believe that the justice system still works. And if
I
we don't,
understand calling for it. I pointed out, Mises just made a song about that exact topic. I
yeah,
get people's frustration, but at the end of the day, my point is that those same people aren't actually even doing anything. It's the same as the left. Won't somebody stop this? Well, if you're not gonna, why do you expect somebody else to take that risk? And since everybody's afraid to take that risk individually, the odds of people coming together to take that risk seem slim when you don't even have a plan. There's no plan. What's the plan? Just arrest people, just put people in jail, or just what? Engage in some like Luigi shit? Well, I don't believe in any of that. I'm an American. I'm not a revolutionary. I'm a counter-revolutionary, Sam. I believe in law and order.
yeah. Well, that's what we've been saying. We're counter-revolutionary.
Yeah.
So,
And so I understand that frustration, and I too would like to see the baby-eating pedophiles dead. I'm not saying I wouldn't. What I am saying is, if you're gonna say put them in jail, the answers need to come from like, okay, who? I'm with you, but who?
Yep.
And for
yeah,
what?
Who for what? Charge them, put them on trial, convict them, then wood chipper.
yeah.
Sure, yeah, I support death penalties for pedophiles. So yeah,
Yeah, and there needs to be like certain levels to this too, right? Like I don't like maybe someone should serve time for some stuff, but then maybe there should be other people who do go to the wood chipper, right? So
and then there's some people like Grim Jim that are mentioned in there for no fault of their own, nothing they ever did, and they couldn't have even known that was the case.
right,
That's why I like his story, because he's the perfect example of somebody in the Epstein files who legitimately did nothing wrong.
yeah,
But the video he made defending a guy from accusations of being a pedophile, turns out that guy was a pedophile, so he was wrong there. But him making a video saying, we should listen to all the facts, we shouldn't witch hunt people, and then that getting sent to Jeffrey Epstein doesn't, in my opinion, make him a bad guy. Shout out to Grim Jim. Don't hate on him.
well, yeah,
Not for
and
that. You can hate on him because he's a fucking Brit and a commie. So
yeah,
also a based cripple man, but of the commie variety.
so
Yeah.
maybe the unbased cripple man then.
No, he's a based commie in a lot of ways. Like I like Grim Jim. But he is a cripple man, and he's kind of based. I mean, dude, he hosts that show where they play tabletop games with naked strippers or like topless strippers. That's pretty
Yeah,
big.
yeah, yeah. That is pretty based.
We need to figure out how to get you to host a show like that, Sam. I feel like it would be your calling in life.
We
Oh
can,
man, Sam. Oh, this is the perfect thing for you. Sam hosting a beauty pageant.
yes.
Let's make it happen, boys.
Also, I'm sure Mort would love to join in on that
Well, he's a
too.
judge. You're the host. You're the Ryan Seacrest. You're the I know. I
I'm
compared you
not.
to the worst host ever,
Well, I'm
right?
not gay, so
Is he gay?
is he
Pretty
gay?
sure.
Gay or just TV gay?
Well, I'm neither. Thank God.
Well, but what is Ryan's? I didn't think he was gay at all. I just thought he was a corny corpro. He's like the Miz if it wasn't a character.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, you could do that and then look at the girls, and it'd be like it's like Miss Topless USA hosted by Sam Whitfield. I would watch. Well, no, I wouldn't watch that. I'm sorry, Sam. That's kind of impure. This is Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, no, more would watch that. See, you might not watch it, but I know
I
people.
would judge that.
I know people who would watch that.
Me too, which is why I'm not opposed to producing it. I just can't watch it.
Well, I like that. I like the attitude.
That's right.
How
A
are
good
you gonna
idea
pro-
is a good idea.
So
How are you gonna
Sam
produce it without
running a
watching it?
pageant where the chicks come out topless and like do the run. Yeah, I could see this. And he's got a suit on, all looking dapper. And now is Miss Tennessee.
of course. So
Which it's the future Mrs. Whitfield pageant. Which state wins it, Sam? Which state do you think wins? Where is your waifu? There's 50 states. You gotta pick one.
Texas?
Sam thinks his match is in Texas. Ladies of Texas. Wait, hold on. It's this way. Get this man.
Indeed.
He wants himself a cowgirl.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even have to think too hard about that question. That's it. Mort, which 50 states do you think?
For me or Sam?
For you, well, let's start with Sam, yeah.
Maybe Oklahoma.
So you're going cowgirl too. I was thinking that he would adore. We're gonna go with Washington State, and he'd love himself one of them blue hairs out from Seattle.
Blue-haired commie.
Yeah.
No. I can't fix. I can't.
Maybe you can fix the blue-haired commie, Sam.
No, I tried.
Well, you can try again.
No.
Okay. All right. A different state then.
Well,
I'll do a redo on mine.
Well, hold on though. More. What about you? Who's your wife? Which state is your wifey going to hail from, sir?
Yeah, probably Tennessee.
I was gonna say Montana.
That works too.
Yeah, he seems like a Montana girl might exist that would be like chill as fuck. Regardless, that's why we gotta have the pageant, Sam. And I don't know why it has to be topless, but I feel like it does.
Because it does.
Right, but we're still gonna have rules, Sam. Topless, yes, but there's not gonna be any twerking or anything like that. They gotta wear
it's
except for the top.
It's gotta be somewhat classy.
Yeah, we're going for like Playboy class.
Exactly.
And you're the Hugh Hefner.
Yes.
I could see it. You look a little like a young Hugh.
Thank you. I actually have been told that before.
See it. He's got all these Playboy models around.
Yes. Also, thank God I didn't close that tab.
I can't believe that Johnny Fox forgot that he changed his name to Johnny Fox on that fake review, bro.
That's hilarious.
You need to give me a screenshot of that too.
I will send you the link to that.
Because his big thing is like, I never fuck with you. I never fuck with you guys. That's why I don't understand why you making fun of me. Dude, he tried to sabotage your author career the moment you wrote a book.
Well, Johnny Fox, you did fuck with Sam, so eat shit.
Well, I mean,
you gotta understand. Hold on, Sam. I need to talk to this faggot for 1 second. You gotta understand, motherfucker. Fucking with me, I think it's funny. You fuck with Sam, you are in trouble because I can take a joke and so can he. But see, I'll take a joke about me. He can take a joke about him. You know who can't? Me. I just get so mad about it, dude. It just drives me crazy. So I'm gonna have to fucking. You're trying to sabotage my bro, and hey, it didn't work because his books are good. Oh no. Oh, and he's friends with all these independent authors. That man, if you could get one of them to retweet you, you might sell a book.
Not just indie authors though. Like I've also interviewed some New York Times
That's true.
bestsellers.
Oh, but he's a bestseller, Sam. Didn't you see? He's a bestseller on Amazon, even though Amazon says that's not true.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I've also never claimed to be a bestseller either.
No, we're always expressing how grateful we are for everybody that picks up a book.
However, Johnny, I can claim something also that you might not be able to, which is I am an international selling author. I've had people from Australia buy books from me.
Yeah, and it costs a bit more to do that too.
And South Africa, which I don't know anyone from South Africa, so I don't even know who would be buying my books from.
Up until you showed me that, I was conflicted on whether I should respond because all I did is make one. He said he's the project lead at Xbox Live, and I'm like, oh no, you're not, you silly man.
I just DM'd that to you. Also,
Thank you.
Also, I'm pretty sure, Max, that it's not the only book that he's reviewed of mine that he just copied. I just have to double check here real quick. I think he might have reviewed.
If he did it more than once, I'm going to break my oath and I'm going to do another Johnny Fox stream. If he did this more than once, it's going to be a whole stream.
Well, let me just.
And I know he's watching, by the way, because he's been watching all of our content all week and bitching about it vaguely. You can tell he's watching our content, and I love it. So, Johnny, I hope right now you must be sweating, huh? Oh no! Did I put another?
Oh, hold on, Max. Hold on. I have to. Let me share this with you again. So, for the Fourth Estate, which I think is one of your favorites in this series.
It is. I have that one upstairs in the bathroom, actually. That is my favorite one, yeah.
Yes. So, book 2 in the series, that one also has a 4 point.
Well, hold on. Actually, no. Sins of the Assassin is now my favorite, but up till that point, from the trilogy, the Fourth Estate's really good. But your first actual novel in the series puts everything to shame. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm excited for this one, the new one.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. But Fourth Estate has a 4.3 rating. Let's scroll down to the reviews. Now, this was my second book. We have Morpheus, we have Jessica, we have the reviewer, and then we have Johnny Fox.
What did Johnny Fox say? How many stars did he give it?
1 star.
Surely 5, right?
1 star. He's an editor. He basically did a copy and paste of the first one, and again, not a verified purchase either.
Johnny, you want to be a successful author, but you're going to try and attack this man. Let me tell you, I'm going to be serious for a second here, Sam. Let me tell you something about this man. He has struggled to get where he is, and he doesn't even fucking let it wipe the smile off his fucking face like you bitch. This man deserves the success that he gets, and that's why he gets it, because people can recognize that, wow, they don't even recognize his struggle. They read the book and they like it, bitch. A lot of people don't know anything about Sam and buy his books at this point. But you want to try and take him down. I'm going to make sure that you fucking eat shit for it, Johnny Fox. This was an unwise decision to try and sabotage the career of somebody that you just don't like. And I've been playing with you all week. I made one fucking tweet and you're losing your mind. You're calling me all kinds of fucking things. That don't bother me. But you fucking tried to sabotage my boy? It's on, motherfucker. And by the way, Sam, he said one other thing. He said the people that talk shit on the internet wouldn't talk shit in real life. Johnny Fox, you are a fat piece of shit. I am 6'5", 200 fucking pounds, and I will whip the shit out of you if you want to go there. Give me a fucking break, fatso. Oh, they're not tough in real life. Yeah, and you're fat and you don't go out of the house and you're fat. Did I mention you're fat and unemployed and fat? And you have online girlfriends and you don't touch real pussy and you think that's the same thing because you're pathetic? And you make up online girlfriends with my brother in a Discord server? Oh, you're so cool, Johnny. You put out an album. He put out an album, Sam. And it's 100% AI and he's saying it's not. So he wants to try and come at my homie. Okay. Game on. The Johnny Fox embargo is lifted, Sam. Cringing over coffee is back on the menu, boys.
Well, I do want to give him one compliment though, since I know it's also since I know it's the one compliment that bothers him so much. Johnny, if it weren't for you spurring out about Max Sand on my show for an hour, I would have never been tempted to look into who is Max Sand.
And let me just list off all the people that have that story at this point, Sam, because it's half of our fucking network.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chibi. That's how I met Chibi. That's how I met you. That's how I met Craig. That's how I met Batman. That's how I met Evan. That's like Steve. Like, yeah, Johnny Fox spurred out, and I made a bunch of friends of the normal ass people that he said were all these evil internet betraying, backstabbing A-logs. And it turns out that what they all did to him that he didn't like is some variation of bro, chill out. Bro, you need to chill out. Johnny Fox, chill out. All
yeah.
Right?
Hey, Johnny Fox, chill the fuck out, bitch.
Yeah, chill. Just chill, brah.
I didn't even say chill. I just said, who is this guy? And he just got perturbed by me asking who is.
Wait a minute. I think I have a solution here. Instead of a cringing over coffee about Johnny Fox, I have another alternative. Sam, you do a show where you invite on and talk to indie authors. Wouldn't it be interesting to have a repeat guest, actually? So, Johnny Fox, if you don't want me to do cringing over coffee about you, then you are cordially invited onto the Whitfield Report. By the way, not the live one even. It's not even going to be live. Just the Whitfield Report, and I won't be there.
Yeah, I'm down.
Because Sam, he thinks that like he mopped the floor with you, and he's afraid of me.
Well,
I know, it's silly that he thinks that. He doesn't know your power level, but he does think that.
Well, he also won't do it because it's pre-recorded, so
that's unfortunate. Well, he could do it live. We do it live too, but then he has to have me on because that's the live show.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
I mean, let's see. If Andrew Nelson isn't afraid to do it, and he's a New York Times bestselling author, then surely you couldn't be afraid. What are we going to do? Embarrass you like we did him? Oh, right. We didn't embarrass him at all. He liked the show very much and came back.
He watches the show pretty regularly, actually. So does
and we promote his books because we like it.
So does Steve Stratton. I was friends with Eric. I don't brag about this too much, but like I was friends with Eric Bishop before Eric Bishop became famous, quote unquote. And I put that in air quotes because Eric doesn't even think he's that famous because he's more modest than I am, even.
Yeah, and the nature of that hasn't even changed really. Like you're still bros like always. It's just he's blown up a little bit, And rightly so, because he's writing bangers too. And it's amazing that your decision to say, you know what, I'm going to publish a book. That's something I always wanted to do, has really turned into something with teeth for you. And I'm so happy to see it. That's why that irks me, because we talked about this before, but we didn't have exactly a smoking gun that it was Johnny Fox. But Johnny Fox is review bombing you openly now. We have proof.
We had a suspicion because the review read a lot like him,
But now we have proof.
but we didn't have proof. But now we do.
We did have proof that the person never bought the product that they were reviewing. We had proof of that. We still do.
Yeah.
Because he still hasn't even bought it. And by the way, it says verified purchase. Here's the thing about that. For some cases, you can give this is why they allow this. You can give a review for a book you didn't buy on Amazon because theoretically you could have bought it used. You could have bought it at a bookstore.
Right.
Sam being an independent author, the odds, if somebody bought his book, they're obviously not going to just take it to their local bookstore and sell it used because they bought his book. So there's probably not a lot of those floating around at used bookstores. And as far as I'm aware, you don't have a major distribution contract where you're in Barnes & Noble or anything like that.
No.
So the only way you could purchase and view this book would be to be verified through Amazon.
There is a way technically that like authors can have their books on Amazon and distribute, but like but Amazon like has to basically notify you that your book has been selected for that, and I haven't gotten any notifications like that or anything.
Right. So we're aware that the book is not in stores for people to purchase outside of Amazon. And so if you're not a verified purchaser, you just didn't read the book. And so by reviewing it, you're basically committing fraud. Johnny Fox committing fraud again, and the fraud is in order to sabotage somebody else's writing career.
Which,
by the way, Johnny, if you wanted it to work, you needed like 5 other people.
Yeah.
A review bomb by yourself just makes you look like a goon.
Well, I mean, I suppose he could get Mersh to do it, but Mersh doesn't read.
And that's what he's trying to do now, Sam. Now he realized that, like, he's afraid of Pod Awful again. He's trying to get into that Mersh effect. He really is. And I hope he does, because Pod Awful, he thinks that they're fucking with him because of me. They're not. Also, he thinks it's all Jesse. Jesse finds you boring, Johnny. I know that'll hurt his little ego. Jesse VS of Pod Awful, I've even talked to him about you. He doesn't think you're particularly funny, so he doesn't bother with you. He has bigger fish to fry. However, there's this thing called the Pod Awful cult, the henchmen. And see, he thinks that that's fake and that it's all Jesse. But if you know you're in there, I'm on this Discord, bro, he thinks Pod Awful doesn't have an audience. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
The henchmen are pretty dedicated, is all I'm saying.
The henchmen, some of them even listen to this show.
That's right. Oh, we got nothing but love for Pod Awful cult over here.
Yeah.
Jesse's the homie since back in the day. Everybody wants to fucking hate on him. But you know who we don't have love for on this show? The guy Johnny Fox is sucking up to. Mersh. He's sucking up to Mersh. It's beautiful. I love it.
Well, question is, was Mersh nice to Johnny Fox?
No. So Johnny asked him, we all make, in Cog, he asked Cog and Mersh, we all make commentary videos. Does anybody fuck with you? He asked Mersh as if he didn't know. And then Mersh was like, you're asking me this fucking question? Are you serious? And since then, because Johnny got a reaction out of him, he doesn't realize that he annoyed Mersh. You could tell, right? That's Mersh being annoyed.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the video, and I could just.
It's not a
tell.
video. It's on Twitter. He's just like, "You're asking me this fucking question, dude."
Yeah,
And you can just tell Mersh is annoyed.
Yeah.
But Johnny took it as Mersh replied to me. So now he's retweeting Mersh. And my favorite one, Sam, is he actually today admitted he's fat. He said he's going to commit himself to losing weight and getting ripped. He has the frame for it. And Johnny, I think you can be ripped by August.
Yeah.
If you want, once you're ripped by August, Johnny, we could have a pose down. We have a pro wrestling match. We have a boxing. He likes the pro wrestling. He doesn't want a real fight. So I could pro wrestling with him. But I ain't jobbing out to Johnny Fox because he's a jobber. I'm an attraction. Might be a novelty attraction. Might be a comedy attraction. But I am an attraction. People will pay to see me whoop the shit out of you, Johnny Fox. And I'd happily sell tickets. Well, so if you want to fight me, Johnny Fox, be glad to do it. And no, we're not going to do it for charity. That shit's gay. We're going to do it for money. Like a real boxing match or whatever. So there you go. You want to fight me? You can fight me. He's talking about fighting me and also how fat he is. Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, where does he want the venue to be, supposedly?
Well, I'll tell you what, Johnny Fox, you could start working now at watching me in VR because I've been fighting on streams this last year. You can watch me fight in a virtual environment and you can learn my strengths and weaknesses too. So you have an advantage.
You're giving your enemy your playbook.
That's because my enemy doesn't stand a chance, Sam.
That's true.
Because if you're an actual fighter and you watch me fight, you're going to notice that I don't have a lot of weaknesses.
Yeah,
And also the game makes all the boxers taller than you.
Yes.
That makes it harder. I'm used to fighting people down, see? Punching up is harder than punching down.
Yeah.
I love punching down, Johnny Fox. People are like, "Oh, you're not supposed to punch down." Well, I'm 6'5". I have to punch down, Sam.
Yeah, he's 6'5". It's kind of impossible for him not to punch down.
Unless you're fucking Kane or the Big Show or something, I'm punching down. And actually, Kane's only like 2 inches taller than me.
So
that tells you where I'm at. I'm not punching up a lot. I don't like to punch up. I don't really like to punch down. I don't think of it like punching down. I just think of it like punching, but it would be down. But hey, either way, Johnny Fox can be Little Mac. I'll be Mike Tyson. Let's fucking go. He wants to fucking review bomb a motherfucker. And if he doesn't want to do that, then he should stop talking about people needing to get off the internet and do shit in real life, because I will fight you in real life, faggot.
I'm just looking to see if he reviewed any more of them, and
you can tell it kind of irked me, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm just looking to see if
I hope he is watching. I know he's been watching our stuff. Speaking of our stuff, Sam, there is another entertaining thing I would like to get into before we head out of here.
Yeah, what?
Okay. I might need to get a link to you and kind of teach you something to do it, but it will be worth it for the comedy's sake, Sam. Have you seen my shorts from last week's show?
Yes.
Did you know that they are auto-dubbed into other languages?
You mentioned something about that on Twitter, I think.
If we could bring up some of those videos, I want you, Sam, to hear yourself speaking Spanish. And I did mention the Brujas, Sam. Brujas. But I'd love to watch a couple of the clips with the auto dub on. Particularly the two, and I will link them to you if you give me a moment.
Sure.
One of them is the Bully University, and I want to watch it in German because I totally sound like Hitler. And then the other one is going to be the witches one, burning the witches, in Spanish, because you sound like Pancho Villa.
Awesome.
You totally sound like my Mexican sidekick, like totally. And I, you know what I mean, like Mr. Max, we need to stop this. Oh no, Mr. Max. I just thought that was very funny, especially when my response to you, when you're like, "But Max, don't burn the golf girls," is like, "Brujas, Sam, brujas." And I feel like that's now my catchphrase.
So let me. Okay. I found some of them.
There you go. So if you click on the gear icon, it will say something to the effect of like audio track. That's the thing to change. Yeah. And also the one that says jelly as fuck is not translated for some reason. But the Jerky Boys one is Max's Plan for America. That's the one you should watch first.
Okay. Let's see here. Max's Plan.
It's the third one.
Yep.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
up on the top here, do you see the 3
I'm
stars?
just saying we put the
Yeah.
queers back in the closet, we put the broads back in the kitchen, and we send
Go
all the
to
illegals
audio
back to
track.
Mexico. I've been saying this for a long time, Sam.
Oh my
And
god.
Max is always right.
And it's the Spanish is the bottom.
Wouldn't the world be better if we did those 3 things? Oh, ay, quememos a las brujas. Tenemos que quemar a las brujas. Ella me convirtió en un vato.
Ahora, Max, no está bien quemar a chicas góticas. Lo sabemos, ya hemos hablado de esto antes.
Mira, las chicas góticas son
Chicas
brujas. Me
góticas.
refiero a brujas, Sam.
Oh my god.
Brujas.
Ahí sí que hay una diferencia.
¿Sabes? Como las que dicen todas esas cosas raras de brujería, como, ¿cómo firmas? Y toda esa, quema esas brujas, Sam. No a cualquier chica gótica. Me refiero a brujas de verdad.
Ojos. El signo zodiacal tiembla.
Mira, tiene todos esos nombres místicos, esas cosas. Dicen cosas como mi signo zodiacal. Dicen, eso es brujería. Hay que empezar a quemarlos.
Sí.
A Jesús no le gusta la brujería, Sam. Ni la mariconería.
So,
Solo digo que volvamos a meter a los en el armario. a las
Yeah.
mujeres.
you sound fucking awesome. And I sound like me. Is it not crazy that I sound like me?
That is crazy. But it
And
does.
so bring up the bully one. Max announces Bully University or whatever. And then put that one in German. And my God, I feel like I watched that back and I started dying laughing because I was like, I am
Vamos a
fucking
fundar una
sounding a lot like Hitler here.
especie de organización.
Well, the Spanish one is pretty funny too, actually. But
Yeah, but this
Okay.
one is like you'll get it very quickly. Watch. This is
okay,
because I
okay.
move my hands a lot and get animated.
Sam, ich spreche seit Jahren in dieser Show über die Notwendigkeit von Mobbing. Wir haben nicht genug Mobbing. Jetzt habe ich mir das Problem genauer an. Ist es ein Männerproblem? Ist es ein Frauenproblem? Es stellt sich heraus, dass es Männer. Es gibt überall gemeine Mädchen und die Hälfte von ihnen sind Typen. Und das ist das Problem, Sam. Wir brauchen Mobber. Und es gibt keine Möglichkeit für Mobber, eine formelle Ausbildung in den richtigen Methoden des Mobbings zu erhalten. Mit diesen Gedanken im Hinterkopf wird Schmolko in Zusammenarbeit mit Right to Offend Media die Bully University, Bully U. Und ich werde damit beginnen, ein paar Kurse zu geben. Ich habe ein paar Vorlesungen geplant. Wir werden uns mit Frauenfeindlichkeit unter Millennials, das wird eine Einführung ins Mobbing sein. Wir werden uns auch mit den Grundlagen von Mobbing befassen. Sam, das sind einfache Techniken, die du selbst anwenden kannst, wie Wet Release, Indianerteppichverbrennungen, die Grundlagen, ein guter alter Atomic Wedgie und so weiter. Wir werden erklären, wo und wann du sie anwenden solltest, warum du sie anwendest, die Psychologie dahinter und so weiter. Dann gehen wir zu den fortgeschritteneren Kursen über wie
Oh my
psychologische
God.
Folter und so weiter. Aber im Grunde genommen, Sam, dachten wir, dass es ein Problem gibt. Es gibt nicht genug Tyrannen. Und wir werden anfangen, sie auszubilden, verdammt nochmal, weil es sonst niemand tun wird. Und die Gesellschaft muss mit den Knöcheln über der Toilette in die Toilette gespült werden. Dass wir eine interessante Organisation
I had some fun with that, obviously.
Yeah.
Sam, ich spreche.
I am let's see.
Yeah, the hijinks one is very fun. I mean, if you want to just watch it in English too, that's great.
Ich bekam in der Mittelschule Ärger, weil ich Flag Football als schwul bezeichnete. Es ist schwul.
Ich bekam in der Mittelschule Ärger, weil ich in der 8. Klasse meinen Englischlehrer als schwul geoutet habe. Das ist tatsächlich eine lustige Geschichte, Sam. Ich habe sie schon lange nicht mehr erzählt. Ich war mit einem Jungen befreundet, dessen Mutter eine Crack-Junge war, weil meine Mutter eine Crack-Junge war und man so etwas einfach tut. Und dann war sie seine Mutter, sein Name war Wayne. Es ist nicht einmal Doxy, weil er vor verdammt 30 Jahren weggezogen. Aber Waynes Mutter war so eine Art Meme, weil sie eine alleinerziehende Mutter war und mit vielen Typen geschlafen hat und wir alle
I don't
sagten, wir
know
würden
why,
sie,
but this
weißt du,
is
fick deine Mutter. Du musst dir nur etwas Crack geben. Und sie
this show is so much more. This show is so much more funny in German.
Or Spanish, yeah. Actually, I've listened to them all the audio dubs, and this one is actually best in either Spanish or Italian.
Really?
Yeah. If you go and do it into Spanish and start over, like it starts off pretty funny. Or Italian. They're at the bottom, both of them.
Yeah. Let's see here.
fa comunque. Ma comunque la madre di Wayne fuma crack con la mia insegnante di scienze che lasciò intendere alla madre di Wayne che l'insegnante di inglese è gay. E ora ero nella classe di quel tizio e a lui non piaceva che parlassi o ridessi o qualcosa del genere. Lui mi ha detto, ehi, bla 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 bla. E io, sì, come vuoi. E lui, ti darò una punizione. E io, sì, come vuoi. E lui, cosa hai detto? Hai preso una punizione. E io, ok. E così ero seduto lì a parlare con il ragazzo accanto a me in modo informale. E ho alzato la voce il più possibile in modo che tutta la classe potesse sentire. Ma comunque era una conversazione informale. Comunque era una conversazione. Gli ho detto, sai, la cosa divertente è che questo gay è nella vita reale. Nella vita reale. E lui, Max, vai in ufficio. Sono andato in ufficio e mi hanno chiesto perché fossi lì e io ho detto non te lo dirò, te lo può dire il signor Tizio. Sono sicura che prima o poi ti chiamerà. Perché volevo che dicesse loro perché mi mandava in ufficio. Capito?
Sì, assolutamente.
Ha detto che era perché ero stata disobbediente in classe e che lui ci aveva fatto una bella figura e che tutto era perdonato. E poi ho cercato di farmi restare dopo la lezione. Io gli ho detto non rimarrò dopo la lezione con un omosessuale. Sai, non avrebbe potuto venire. Beh, sì. Non potevo costringermi, giusto? Perché avrebbe dovuto raccontare tutte queste cose in ufficio. Cavolo, era molto meglio quando ero nell'armadio. Potevi prenderlo in giro, eh?
I could watch. I'm gonna have to start watching these dubs.
Bro,
Wow.
I love the Spanish dubs, especially because I understand a good amount of Spanish. And it's always funny to hear in my own voice saying stupid shit. I like that. So
Yeah.
that's the thing I've liked about shorts. I only made a couple, but they seem to do all right.
I
like the video.
So I am curious then what my Candace Owens is a hoe one would be.
There you go. Try it out.
Because let's see that one. Okay.
Now I found that not everyone does auto dub, so
let's see here.
There we go.
Candace. So Candace Owens, right, has been saying,
Yeah,
has been like
don't got an auto
making
dub
all these alleged remarks. It might be because there's music on.
I don't know. My one, the Jelly AF one, where I was like, these bitches be jelly, it didn't auto translate either. So I don't know. I don't know why it makes that decision. But they definitely, it's been amusing for me. So
as we saw on that clip, though, like Steve Bannon is talking like about Plato and Socrates with Epstein, as if that matters.
And you know what nobody's talking about?
Yeah, not. Yeah, that one's not in. That one's not dubbable too. That's interesting. So,
well, so I just thought that was fun, watching us banter in other languages. I'll hope to get some more of those. Man, when it translates, your laugh gets me.
Yeah, that's the best.
Also, it makes Morpheus, especially in Spanish, sound mad deep voiced.
It does.
That's dope.
Like Morpheus in Spanish be like, "Yeah, I'm here." I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, that fits the vibe, so I'm down for it."
I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker.
So I actually do have one more serious story that we maybe should have covered last week because it took place last week, but we've been talking about Minnesota a lot. Everyone has in regards to the fraud, and we've also talked about Social Security fraud before on this program in regards
And
to.
I've talked about basic bitch welfare fraud top to bottom, and I've pointed out that it is one of my biggest problems in society that nobody seems to want to address. Yeah. And that it's my biggest problem with libertarians is that the only people that do want to address the problems in it, but they just say, oh, let's throw all the babies out with all the bathwater. So yes, we've talked extensively about welfare, Social Security, and other government frauds. Yes.
Well, Max, as it turns out, Max, the Somali scammers in Minnesota have been scamming people out of their
Specifically the disabled.
out of their disability, legitimately disabled.
Sam, I've been saying
individuals.
that this is going on, and I want to explain my take before you even get into the story because I haven't seen this. As I've been saying for years that illegals and so-called migrants who, were considered legal at one point a couple of years ago have absolutely been using stolen Social Security numbers to apply for benefits, so disability benefits and even veterans benefits. Yeah, 100% you are correct in this, and it's been going on for years.
Yeah. So thanks to Justin, who linked Morthus and I to the story last week, and also Evan even covered this a little bit on this past week's Fake
There's
and
just so much to cover, and we only do the one live show a week.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe, get our bigger numbers, and maybe we'll expand to another day. But as it stands, sometimes we don't get to everything. Apologies.
So, but nonetheless, I appreciate Justin for sharing this. So let's get into this.
And living on the streets. Tonight, Carol Levin investigates the impact of Minnesota's fraud crisis on the innocent victims betrayed by the very system that was supposed to give them care.
So as the left wing rushes to defend the Somali community after it was discovered that a huge portion of them are participating in all sorts of government program fraud in the state of Minnesota, it's important to understand that despite what the mainstream media will tell you about how the real victims are actually the Somali fraudsters, the actual victims are the people who are negatively impacted by the fraud that the Somalis were committing. Now, of course, this includes the taxpayers of not just the state of Minnesota, but of course, all of us as taxpayers if you pay federal taxes. But in addition to that, there are also the people that are utilized in order to extract money from the system under the promise that they will get government services who actually need those services that don't end up getting them. And there's actually this local news segment that I'm going to link in its entirety in the description of this video from KARE 11 News that goes over the different people that have been left homeless despite the fact that they're disabled due to the fact that the Somalis decided that they were going to defraud Minnesota's disabled Medicaid program. And this is what we're going to talk about today. But before we do, I want to thank everybody who supports this channel via...
You wouldn't know it though.
Yeah.
To me, Janelle Hansen. She goes by the nickname
like,
Sky,
comment, and subscribe to
through
our
no
channel.
fault of her own, homeless.
I suppose I'm coming up on 6 months.
It's now actually been 8 months. Sky allowed KARE 11 to document her journey.
It's really annoying to live in your car. It is so annoying.
So this girl being featured by KARE 11, her nickname happens to be Sky, is diagnosed with autism and a bunch of other conditions. And although she is giving us a sunny disposition and obviously seems quite likable by this local news segment, make no mistake about it, despite her cheery attitude,
Depending on the weather,
I was so cold and so tired.
we found her staying intense.
And I was cold. I was cold while I was sleeping.
It's not always easy to find a place inside to lay her head. If she can find an open bed, she stays in shelters. When she has the money,
Hey, can I do late checkout? I almost got my stuff out.
cheap hotels.
I think I just got kicked out of the hotels for being too autistic.
Despite the appearance that she may be persevering through these troubled times, the fact is these troubled times were put upon her by a Medicaid scheme that was supposed to be covering her housing. You see, what this particular scheme was doing, according to the local news, was that they were providing coverage for her conditions, and that included paying her rent, which for a while they absolutely did. But in addition to that, they were overbilling for care rendered to this individual, claiming that they were doing about 12 hours of care per day, so that
Yep, overbilling is a classic scam.
Yep.
Yeah, does it seem like she's getting 12 hours of care a day? Oh my god.
Nope.
Nope.
This poor girl.
they could charge the
She probably
Medicaid
barely
program
gets
400.
1 hour.
Yeah, if that, I mean, she seemed like, I mean, I don't like to make comparisons, but like Mortis and I, she seems pretty capable of, you know, taking.
It's clearly not that she's incapable of taking care of herself, but she certainly has some hurdles that are I can
Just
tell right
needs
now.
a little
Don't fault her.
direction.
Right. Yeah. And yet, you know, but think about the Somali immigrants, bananas and rice.
$21 a day, but in reality, they were doing maybe 1 hour or 2 hours a week maximum. And this, of course, led to getting the attention of federal investigators. So they decided to raid the offices of an unsurprisingly fraudulent Somali Medicaid system. And guess what? Once those offices were raided, this girl was evicted from her property because the fraudulent Somali operation stopped paying her rent. And there's actually body cam video of her being evicted. It's really tragic to watch. You could tell that she is absolutely unaware about what's going to happen. But again, this is what happens when you allow fraudsters to run unchallenged in your Medicaid system, and you give them the additional protections that Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, Keith Ellison, and all these other Democratic Party officials have granted to the Somalis in that.
Which, by the way, for years, Mortis and I have always been told that the Dems, you know, are the ones that care about disabled people.
Yeah, okay. Sure they are.
Right? Yeah, and yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
sure they are. Uh-huh.
and that's pretty much my same reaction there. More, yeah, right. So, yeah, and
But they say nice things, Sam. They say they care so much.
yeah, they say
You mean to tell me Democrats lie?
they
all the fucking time.
Yeah, they care so much that they admit, like, on camera that most of us should have been aborted in the womb.
No. They lie like rugs.
And they wish you had been so they could use your stem cells. I know.
Facts.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Or just drink, or just, you know, or just eat us now. Now that we know that that's a thing.
I don't know if you would be the most tasty treat, Sam.
I mean, that might be the one saving grace of being crippled. I might be too stringy.
Not enough meat. Yeah, I can see it.
I mean,
this is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And I guarantee this girl is one of many, many, many such cases.
Yeah. So great going, Minnesota. Like, seriously.
And by the way, also going to be affected by these kind of things. There'll be a lot of veterans too.
Oh yeah, big time. I honestly, I'm not even like asking this facetiously. Like, I am genuinely curious who is like running for like the opposition in Minnesota, because whoever is running against like Tim Walz and the Democrat.
Fucking nobody.
Well, so far it seems that way.
Will Stancil, baby.
That would be an amazing arc if Will Stansel. I mean, he does kind of seem to be getting more based.
He's certainly not letting them bully and cancel culture him, which is kind of base. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I do find myself reading his posts and being like, "It do be like that, Mr. Stansel."
Yeah, it do be like that.
But the fraud on these disabled people, though, to get back to the video, is just, it's so heart-wrenching to watch. But I've known that this is going on. I don't know how much more you wanted to watch and talk about, but yeah, certainly this is something we should be covering. Yeah.
I mean, we can watch a little more. I don't know how much, like.
Yeah, you basically explained the scam already, so.
Yeah, that was it. Was kind of that, and that was kind of mainly what I wanted to cover, in regards to that. So, yeah, what a shit show, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's disgusting. This young girl is living by herself and on the streets in Minnesota, which is very, very, very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's terrible. The fraudsters should be put in jail or deported from this country, or both.
Yeah, yeah, she's living in the streets in Minnesota as a woman.
As an autistic woman too.
Yeah.
And that matters. Like, autism is a neurological condition that affects like a lot of things that relate to your ability to process and deal with danger.
Yes. Yeah.
Just as a father, as a human being, this infuriates me.
It infuriates me too. So.
Same.
But, well, and that's the other reason why the libertarians piss me off too. Oh, borders don't matter. Yes, they fucking do for this reason. And you know what? I was gonna say I apologize if this sounds racist, but no, the fuck I don't. Because Somalis, they shouldn't be here. They've proven time and time again that they can't, that they're not willing to
can't assimilate.
adapt or assimilate. Yeah. Yes, thanks, Mort. That was the word I was looking for. They're unwilling to assimilate to American society.
Well, they assimilated to greed, culture, and stealing.
Well,
I'm sorry, if you're unwilling to assimilate to American culture, get the fuck out.
That's not exactly that's not exactly the type of assimilation that we should be striving for, though. Is greed and stealing. So
yeah. Well, we should be thankful they haven't assimilated so much that they're eating babies, just cats.
You say that you.
Well, then they've assimilated to the Chinese, not Americans.
I'm gonna talk more about eating babies because it pisses off like a couple of people. Like, they're super like, no, they didn't eat the babies. Yeah, they didn't eat the babies.
Well, I mean, you say that, but like we don't know that the Somalis didn't eat the baby.
That's true. There could be a lot of eaten babies that we're unaware of. We need a list, Sam, of people who have eaten babies and babies who have been eaten. They need to call it the Epstein files.
Yeah, which release them. Like,
I'm still waiting for my files on Malcolm X. I know you CIA glowies killed him. I know it. You can't hide that forever.
Well,
they're gonna try.
Well, Max, I mean, just hit him with if you see someone who you think works for the CIA, just hit them with your car and they'll go in the dark. But oh wait, that might be a bit difficult for you at the moment.
Well, I know one thing. That they killed Eazy-E.
All right.
You know why I know that? Because they killed a lot of people. Because the CIA is part of, like, if we're talking about baby-eating conspiracies, Sam, if you think the CIA isn't balls deep in all of that shit, you're out of your fucking mind. Here's my opinion, Sam. I'm going to say it, and it's probably not great for the show to say it, but it is what it is. I don't mind the FBI. I think they have negatives and positives as an organization. I have no problem with the ATF except some of the regulations and things that they deal with. But as an organization, I think it means something and there's a purpose for it. The CIA is evil. Period. End of story. I would see them dismantled from the top down.
Well, on that, you and I both agree.
You look at everything in the last 50 years, domestically and a lot of international developments, and the CIA has been there officially or unofficially doing shady shit wherever shady shit has been doing. People are like, you could tie Epstein back to everything. You could tie Mossad back to everything. Bro, you want to start tying shit back to everything? You think Israel ties to everything? Look up the CIA.
Yeah.
Because they even tie into Israel doing shit. CIA tells them to do shit. You guys have the wrong fucking boogeyman sometimes, man. The CIA do way worse, way more fucked up shit right in front of your face, illegally, with no consequences, because they have power, that they have hard and soft power that we do not possess.
Also, if you think that the CIA was anti-communist, I've got news for you. No.
I got a bridge for you then.
Only when it was convenient.
Yeah.
No, it goes right back to the OSS. They've been fucking with events because they think they know better than everybody. They go off the books, and they're still like working for the CIA, and they found a company, and then that company does some shady shit, and we're like, oh, the government didn't do that. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I'll tell you, the government gave the Manson family those drugs.
Oh,
the
yeah.
CIA did that. The government
did every fucking thing. Every fucking thing.
Yeah, you name it. You name the event. I will show you where it interacts with the CIA.
On that note,
Sam's like, shit.
No, no. On that note, American Inferno comes out on March.
Isn't it
10th.
funny? That's the one conspiracy that people get nervous. Like, people can yell about Jews.
No,
all these conspiracies they can scream about, right? But when I start saying the FBI does shady shit, people get nervous.
The CIA, you mean?
Yeah, CIA. Sorry, it's just if I said the FBI has done some shady shit. I've just said that I think that they're not all evil.
Well,
all of the three letters have done shady shit.
Yeah, every government agency is gonna do some evil, and some of it's not even their fault. So the FBI has done, like, for example, the FBI seems to know every shooter. That's a bit weird. But the CIA makes them shooters in the first place, so they're worse.
Yep.
The CIA covered up the finders. The CIA covered up Jeffrey Epstein. The CIA killed Malcolm X, and the CIA killed Martin Luther King Jr. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
What? Well, I'm just searching something.
Oh, and Robert Kennedy and John Kennedy's probably a part of a larger CIA-related conspiracy.
Yeah.
And what else? Epstein's a CIA conspiracy, and Mossad, because they both do the same thing. I'm not going to say that's not true. I'm just going to say it's like you're looking at, remember, you guys are wrestling guys, so you'll know that. Remember in the 90s when WWF had the minis?
Uh-huh.
There were midget wrestlers that dressed up like the full size. That is exactly what Mossad is. It's mini CIA. It's dressed up like the CIA. It does the same stuff as the CIA, but it's half the size and has half the impact.
So I wasn't nervous, Max. I was racking my brain trying to find my favorite JFK quote, and my favorite JFK quote, which may be in a future book of mine, maybe. I would like to splinter the CIA. I can't do an accent. I would like to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces and scatter to the winds.
Yes.
Coincidentally, he got shot.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, and they love you digging in the weeds to talk about who actually did it, rather than just saying.
Also,
I think elements from the CIA are involved in everything, whether or not they did anything. They're there.
well, so you want to know? Well, you already know my conspiracy theory that makes people very uncomfortable, Max. I think that Rich Nixon was going to expose the CIA for some shit. He was, and then all of a sudden, well, what did he know about? What did the president need to go through for Watergate? I think that whole thing was a CIA cover up to
Well,
discredit
and Watergate
Nixon.
is lost on people because most people don't even know what happened if they were born after 1990.
Yep.
Yep.
Short story. There were people related to the Nixon campaign that broke into the Watergate Hotel where the DNC headquarters were and broke into their safe, which contained data, some of it which was mental health data, and other things that suggested that certain people might be communists. And that's what happened. And then they just blamed Nixon directly for it as if he ordered it, though there is no evidence that he directly ordered anything, as far as I'm aware.
No.
And also, Gordon Liddy took the full blame for that and went to prison for it.
Yes. And then sadly he died before Max could interview.
Yeah. Shout out to G. Gordon Liddy, a real American hero who sacrificed everything for what he knew was right.
Yeah. And also because it pisses people off, I'll say again, and I'll even get close to the mic ASMR style for people. Richard Nixon did nothing wrong.
That's right. We need a Nixon. We need someone to beat up some protesters, man. The fuck?
That we do. Well, look out, they're going after Trump. They seem to be trying awfully hard. So
yeah, well, and they got their trannies wound up to come after the rest of us if we so much as think as to say, hey, I think you have a mental illness and I'm not going to coddle you. They're going to kill your children.
Yeah.
But we're not supposed to put those people in mental hospitals. We're supposed to be scared.
Well, see, we need... I was thinking about this, Max, because we actually talked about this last week. But we need a different word besides transphobia, because I'm not afraid of any trannies. I'm just suspicious of them.
Well, and it's like, what about I don't know, like what would you call it if I don't believe in it? I guess that's just transphobia, right? Because I don't believe in transgenderism, and I'm sick of pretending that you're not allowed to say that. No, I don't believe that you... Like, I don't believe in it. I think you're just mentally ill.
Right.
I don't believe...
Once upon a time, it wasn't the DSM-5. They fucking were forced to take it out, weren't they?
Yeah, well, and with the DSM is like they make up new shit and take it out every time too, so I don't even use that as a standard. But I know this. I am not going to tell the man in the fucking mini skirt with the swastika tattoo that he's a woman. And because I won't do that, he's going to go shoot a place up. Well, I think that the man in the dress with the fucking swastika tattoo belongs in prison or in a mental institution at the very least. And I'm not apologizing for that. And if you think that that's targeting trans people, you're missing the fucking point.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Just to even it out though, too, he was also a Groyper, which is kind of the same thing at this point.
I would argue he wasn't a Groyper. He was just sexually attracted to Nick Fuentes, which I know is not much of a distinction. But he criticized Nick, which means he couldn't be a Groyper fully, right? Because you're supposed to never criticize Nick.
Yeah, that.
So he just really wanted to have sex with Nick Fuentes more than anything. Which,
Well,
I mean, if he hadn't killed himself, might have been a possibility. We all know Nick Fuentes loves deranged trainee shooters who hate Jews.
Yes.
Like his favorite people. Except pedophiles. He really likes them too.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, he's selling Jeffrey Epstein vests. So what do you think?
Yeah, he actually, in fact, there have actually been clips of him saying that Epstein is cool.
Mm-hmm. And that he's not a pedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a brave stance to take. He's so cutting edge. You want to figure out how Nick Fuentes is going to pick his position, Sam? I can tell you. What does every reasonable person say? He's going to say the opposite.
Yeah. Well, also he thinks that JD Vance is a race traitor for marrying an Indian American
You can't
woman.
be a race traitor to Mexicans if you're not Mexican, Nick. I know he cares deeply about his Mexican people, but
yeah. And by the way, I don't think he doesn't understand. Nick, you do realize that Vance's wife is also an American.
Sam, I'm not great with Spanish, but I believe the term that I'm looking for to talk about Nick Fuentes is like Pequeño Huevos. I'm pretty sure that's it. Something like that.
Yeah. I think that's it, maybe.
Yeah. Un poquito huevos. Just, just poquito. Yeah. I mean, probably, poquito on the rest too, but especially the huevos.
Indeed.
And what kind of hombre has little nuts? Gay.
The fagito.
What's it's fagela, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be looking at tranny porn, and then a tranny shoots up a place in his name, and we're supposed to. I love that he's being pushed as the new Richard Spencer. That's great. I saw today, Sam, Richard Spencer's fat now, and Nick Fuentes is fat now. Apparently, to be a Nazi, you either got to be gay or fat or both. In the case of Chris Cantwell.
Well, yeah.
Also, Sam, I now have a particular phone call that I think I'm going to clip out between Christopher Cantwell and Dave Grady, wherein Cantwell basically explains looks maxing to him from 2016.
Oh, I've seen that clip.
But in the new context of looks maxing, Sam, I want to re-put it out simply because Cantwell invented looks maxing. He did. He was doing the nootropics. He was using meth. All the stuff that they do, including hitting his face with a hammer. Looks maxing will lead you to being gay 100% of the time. Because it's gay to judge other men's looks in the first place to try and figure out where you fit into that. Did you know that, Sam?
I did know that.
If you're looking at other men and you're like, how attractive is he? You're already gay.
Facts.
Yes.
So then to figure out how attractive you are in comparison, you already had to be gay to get there.
Yeah.
You had to judge the attractiveness of another man through the eyes of somebody that wanted to fuck them. That makes you gay.
Yeah. That
another TED Talk.
Well,
you're gay, clavicular. I'm sorry to inform you. You could pull all the broads at clubs you want, the dumb hoes that'll go with you because you got a camera in their face. You could do all that. You're still gay, homie. You're still gay. And you mark my words, it took Chris Cantwell 10 years, but he was banging trannies all over Grindr, sucking all the dicks, and writing gay porn. And clavicular, I'm sorry to tell you, Sam, is Cantwell too.
I mean, I believe it.
Got another Cantwell on our hands.
I believe that completely, Max.
And so, my prediction is thus. Eventually, we're going to find out that clavicular fucks dudes. That is my prediction.
Here's my question, Max. Because I don't see it as an if, it's more like a when are we going to find that out?
Yeah. It's a matter of when. It might be next year. It might be in 5 years, or it might be Cantwell where he hides it for a good 10 or 15. But eventually, we're going to find out that he was taking pipe.
Well, no, I'm asking, like, what's your over under?
He's speed running Cantwellism already, so probably by the end of this year. By the end of this year, because he went to Fashion Week and was like flirting with a fucking drag queen last week. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, no, I know that's why I'm saying, like, what's your over under? Because I think it'll be I think it'll be within this year.
I think he already had sex with that guy. I just think when we get evidence of it, probably by the end of this year, if not next year. But I'm open to maybe he'll hide it for a long time like Cantwell did too. But I think he's already doing it. I think he already, like, I watched the interaction with him and the drag queen. Yeah, I think clavicular is already having sex with men.
Probably.
Well, I've never talked to a man like that, Sam. Because I didn't want to have sex with them.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
I date women and have sex with men.
Right, and you would talk to women like that, maybe. Because you want to have sex with them. But you don't talk to men that you don't want to have sex with, like the way he was talking to that gay guy.
Facts.
Yeah, no.
You want to have sex with them.
Yeah, no. If I were going to go to New York Fashion Week, I wouldn't want to talk to. First off, I wouldn't want to go to New York Fashion Week because that sounds boring. But
he stopped himself. He was like, "Wait a minute, I'm gonna get judged for this. Hold on, go ahead."
But if I did, I would want to talk to the women.
That's right.
So,
I mean, I would go, but like, I'm gonna model this fucking Batman hoodie on the fucking runway and show the new style. You see, it's called cavemanism.
There you go.
These motherfuckers laugh, right? Oh, look at this hairy caveman motherfucker. I probably have had more success with women than you.
You would probably unironically start a fashion trend, Max. I'm not even joking.
That's right. We're caveman maxing, Sam.
Well,
bunga fucking bunga, Sam.
Well, given the state of men's fashion the last few years and how literally gay it's been, cavemanism need to be the new style. I'm not even joking.
That's right. You just gotta be natural and also loud. Now, another thing about being the caveman maxing, Sam, is the clubbing. And I don't mean going out to a club. I mean when you take a good club and you whack a broad over the head and then you drag her back to the cave by the hair. I mean, it worked for a lot of guys in the past, is all I'm saying, right? That's why we're here.
Yes.
Because
No,
see, it sounds like rape, but by the time she's been dragged back to the place, she's fully consenting.
That's true.
Yeah. That's the part people didn't know about. That like it gets them that whole experience gets them actually excited. That's why they did it. It wasn't a rape.
Totally. Yeah.
And actually, a lot of women like the idea of like fantasy being raped, as we know, because they write books about it and read them to each other.
Yes, that somehow outsells most fiction, but
So,
that
you just gotta go on. You just gotta say, bitches, we fucking or what? And if she doesn't respond quick enough, club her over the head, drag her back to the cave, and you have a wife. That's how it works, right, Sam?
Totally.
I mean, hey, if trainees don't have to follow the law, then I don't think anybody does, right?
That's what that's what it seems.
Right.
So
there you go, young men. You got to go the old school route, and you just keep the bit. No, you let women tell you no. The fuck.
If
you just tell them yes.
As Sean Connery once said, 10 no's and 10 no's and a yes is still a yes.
That's right. And I mean, the yes can be implied, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know.
So.
As young men, see, no means yes, and yes means yes.
Yes.
And I joke, but the reality is actually, okay, a lot of times the girl rejecting you was a shit test and you crying and getting upset about it, you failed. Just guys, just because here's one. Johnny Fox saw that I did comedy dating advice, so he put up his dating advice and got way less views. But he was doing the exact opposite bit I am. He said, if a girl rejects you, you know what you do? You say, I respect that, and thank her, and then never ever lash out at her. Now, okay. And I'll link you the video, Sam. That is what he said.
That's
but
that's
I got a counter to it.
That's oddly specific too.
It's very oddly never ever lash out at her is how he ends the video. And now see, my advice is very different from that. If you get rejected, call her a cunt. The stuck up cunt usually works really well. Like, oh yeah, like I wanted to have sex with this stuck up cunt. And lash out at her and then also bully her and call her a hoe. That's how I would recommend you handle rejection. And realize that she's rejecting you because she's a stupid bitch.
Yeah.
And you're awesome.
Or you go and talk to her friend.
Both.
Who hasn't.
Facts.
Yeah,
no, you gotta be mean and then go talk to her friend.
Yeah. But you also don't let her friend see that you're being mean to her.
What are you, a gay guy? Of course you do. That's the whole point. You think women really like when you're super nice to them in the flirtation process? Do you honestly think that?
Well, no.
Okay, good.
But no, I'm speaking from experience that when you hit on their friend, they don't like that. All of a sudden, Well, why is Kim talking to him? I hate that dude. Well,
Yeah.
because maybe Kim's nicer than you are, bitch.
I'm just saying, women like it when you fucking dress a woman down like that. That's not them. It actually will get you more looks from women if you do that. If you get rejected and you turn it around into be like, yeah, okay, bitch, look at you over here, and you rip her in front of a whole bunch of other women, one of those other women will be like, at least one.
Yeah.
And people, and see, that was the kind of mindset I was kind of criticizing you for, where it's like, no, you don't want the woman to see you being mean to her friends. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. 100% you do. You know why? Because then you're not going to get shit tested. It's not going to happen because they know you won't put up with bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And also, women like a guy that's a little aggressive and assured in himself.
That is true.
And you tell me I'm wrong, Johnny Fox, but I am not bitching about girls breaking up with me. I've been married for 20 years, brah. Well, I've been married for like 10, 12 years, but I've been with her for 20.
And if she likes you, she's going to like the booty touch.
Married in 2014, but we've been together since 2006, so.
Damn.
Yeah, no, I have no success. I have no idea what I'm talking about, right? But, so you be real nice and you never lash out. And when a girl rejects you, you say, I respect that. You do that. You do all that. And you're going to be a lonely guy jerking off in trash piles talking to a furry on Discord.
Johnny Fox, the woman respecter who
Now,
calls people the prettiest girl in the Discord.
Prettiest girl in the Discord, yeah. Now you walk up and you do the prettiest girl in the Discord bit, you're done. But you walk up and you say, oh, bitches, we fucking or what? The worst thing that's going to happen, Sam, Mort, is that some of their friends are going to be like, he's a bit vulgar. But that's it.
Or, oh my God, did he just say that?
That's not the worst thing. That's a good thing.
Some of them like vulgar.
That's happened to me a few.
That's how you get the room's attention, right?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. See, people think that acting a fool like I do is a net negative, but then how do I operate in real life so well? Like, I don't have this problem. Anywhere I go, I'm joking with people. Everybody fucking likes me. I don't have to cry about people that don't like me like Johnny Fox does, because if I'm out there, I talk to people kind of the way I talk on this show. I guess that's what it is I don't have like a persona on here. Well, except that I play dumber than I am a lot. But that's, that's basic comedy. Nobody likes the smart guy.
Yeah, I don't really have a persona either. That's also why I can't sell out. And by the way, for anyone who thinks that I'm being mean to Candace Owens just for the show, no, people at Turning Point know I think of her too. And now some of them are finally saying what I've been saying.
I have a different theory, Sam. I think you're desperately in love with Ms. Owens. Has been for years. He's just he likes your style, likes your swag. Just wishes that they could be together. But she ruins it for Sam because she opens her mouth and then says stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I feel for you in that, Sam. The woman that you wanted, the woman of your dreams, but it comes with one caveat. She's retarded.
Well, also,
Sam's like, fuck you.
The reason why she doesn't like Jews too, it's because she saw Jewish women hitting on me, and she doesn't like that. So, clearly, she has to destroy the Jewish women
Like, we
and
all
take
know that Sam has a thing for crazy black girls. Like, we've known this for a while. Like, that's his jam. We try to keep them away because they're crazy.
They
But
are.
he doesn't like the sane ones. I don't know what it is. Just digging it deeper. Getting that look from Sam like he's actually going to kill me.
No, I won't kill you. The person off screen might though.
Oh, no, she's not here tonight. She was not feeling well, so I could be abrasive and dickheadish, and nobody can stop me, Sam.
So that's why. So that's why the caveman comment didn't get any smacks. Yeah, that would explain it. But
I love that there's an undercurrent vibe though. Whenever I start going off of people start looking, like I'm gonna get smacked. He's doing it again, and I know it's eventually he can get snuck up on and get whacked. But you know, if I lived in fear of that like everybody else is, well, it's not fear, it's more anticipation. But for me, it would be fear. Well, actually, no, it's anticipation because I like it. Never mind. Either way, I can't live thinking about getting smacked. I would never live.
right. That's very true.
They're like, why? Why do you say these wild things? It's like, I don't know. I'm on a comedy late night show. Have you ever watched Conan O'Brien?
Well, yes, I have.
Like, why do I say crazy things? I don't fucking know, because we do a show that's half news and half comedy. Well, actually, and the other half is like discussing media and art.
Yes.
3 halves.
I
don't need you math nerds telling me that don't make sense. I'm already a math genius. Scott Steiner even confirmed this.
I saw that on that.
Bro, Scott Steiner saw my Steiner math promo.
That is a win. So speaking of promos, more Bits and Bones. What do
Bits
we
and Bones is Friday, 10 probably 10:05 EST. Gonna talk about a game that I started playing a couple of years ago. Little indie game that was released last year that really nobody's been talking about. Talk about that on Friday, and talk about other gaming news that shit like High Guard was not actually an indie game. Fucking funded by Tencent.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all the big developer talent on it all came from like Blizzard and shit to begin with. So
Right, but it
was
was legitimately funded by Tencent through a shell corporation.
Because of course CCP is asshole. Never
Yeah,
forget.
so hey, if you want to support a true indie game, our friend Humongous out there in the chat earlier, he has put out a great game called Home Invaders on Steam. Check it out now. Free demo. There's some promo that we didn't even bargain for, Sam.
Do not trust China. China is asshole.
Indeed.
Since we're promoting other people who are friendly friends, they've been on killing it, and you can catch Sam almost every week now on the Fake Untitled podcast.
Indeed. I'm just filling in for Steve, who, congrats by the way, is a father now.
Congrats.
What a downgrade. Sorry, I'm sorry. I like Steve.
Yeah.
He's a masshole of my stature.
I'm sure
He's
he might
raising a kid, and I'm sure it's wonderful. So it's great to have you there. But man, I miss Steve sometimes. You don't argue with Craig enough.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm too agreeable.
I know. And Steve was not. And it's a different vibe, but it's fun. You guys had, I don't want to spoil it, a mystery guest this week. It was actually pretty entertaining.
we did. There was a mystery guest.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna spoil who the mystery is, but it was an entertaining show in general, really.
Indeed.
So, shout out to them. Another shout out, our homie fucking Corethus has been doing really well, and so check him out. He's free from Twitch now and able to say what he wants. And so check him out on Kick, Rumble, and other places.
Really? So he finally ditched
He's been
Twitch.
off Twitch for a few months now.
Yeah.
He went back on Twitch with a friend of the show, Zuli Tittles, and they were doing a stream, I think Friday night, right before Bits and Bones, actually, and he got muted by even her because he's used to speaking his mind now, and he's realized he's back on Twitch. It was kind of funny, but yeah, check all that shit out. Promoting our friends for free because we're dope like that.
Yep.
Because that's what friends do.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Thanks for
I'm gonna be doing more shorts, and I guess I'm doing cringing over coffee on Johnny Fox since it's now confirmed he was trying to review bomb you.
Yes, just let me know when, and if you want, I would be happy to join you for.
Yep. Well, that'll probably be something for the later than this week or early next week. I think I'm planning it out now since I just got this news on the air. I'm kind of plotting it out because you know me with the cringing over coffee. I kind of need a story,
right?
A beginning, a middle, and an end. And this is a story. And I said I wouldn't do another one on him, but I also said unless he fucked with your books. Which he has.
Twice, actually.
And now we have the smoking gun. He signed his name.
Yeah. Instead of just the funny thing about that too is both those reviews initially got taken down from Amazon for being fake, but he put him back up. So
a one-man review bomber. And it's been very effective by judging. Also, Sam, he put out a thing where he was like, I've sold tens of thousands of my 16 books. And I didn't even challenge him on that. Grok did.
Yes.
I said, hey, Grok, can you investigate the claim of him being the Xbox Live inventor or whatever? And it said no. And it also fact-checked all his other claims, including being in tens of thousands. Sam, how many of those indie authors would sit there and confidently say they've sold tens of thousands of books that come on the show? A handful at most, right?
Maybe two.
Yeah, maybe I was gonna say maybe two, and I know we both know exactly who they are. I don't want to besmirch anybody by naming that and saying that people sell better work. But my point is, it's very rare for an indie author to be saying I'm selling tens of thousands of books, and it's even rarer for then the AI to say no, you're not.
Right, and just to clarify, a lot of the indie authors who could say that were under like traditional publishing contracts initially, where they were selling tens of thousands, but as an indie author, they probably haven't sold.
Yeah, and so he's tens of thousands, and it's just like, okay, dude. Okay.
Listen, I haven't even sold I sold maybe 100 copies 2 years ago.
Yeah, like per book when you were new, and that was great. You can
Yeah.
That's how you know it's bullshit, is because any indie author is like, yeah, I sold 400. That's fucking awesome. And even these guys that have had publishing deals will be like, yeah, I sold a couple thousand. It's less than I sold on my publishing deal, But they like it, right? Because this is why you go indie. They make more money.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to pay for all the services,
Yep.
but they do have to do more work, as we've discussed extensively on the show.
Yeah. Even if you sell 20 even, like in a month, like I have or like Andrew Nelson has, that's not,
It's a notable accomplishment in that.
Yeah.
That's why it's so funny what he says, is because we talk to all of these authors, but that's not their reality at all.
Yeah.
He's trying to pretend like what he thinks an author is like everything else he does.
Yeah. Funny how that. Well, he's LARPing.
Yeah. So I guess I cannot go back on it now that he has signed his name to try to review bomb your book. Like, we have to do something about that. And you know what you could do about it, ladies and gentlemen, is you could catch up on, of course, the Shadows of Deception series itself, but especially you could check out American Inferno March 10th.
Yes, comes out in paperback and ebook, and then the audiobook should come out like around that time, but Audible they never give indie authors dates, so it'll come out when it comes out, basically. But as you heard, Doug is in the process of narrating right now, so
it's fucking
and
awesome.
it's very entertaining. So, and trailer coming soon, so stay tuned.
I'm putting a lot of effort into the trailer myself, so this should be a lot of fun. I think that we're doing things, we're shaking, we're moving. Your book is I know, Sam, that you don't just get this excited unless you stand behind something, and you've been very excited about this book before you even announced it publicly.
Well, and part of the reason is, look, I know that people are a bit fatigued with the whole Charlie Kirk thing because of all the conspiracy stuff, which is really unfortunate because, look, I wrote this, I dedicated it to Charlie. I'm not going to get into the whole conspiracy stuff with his, wife potentially. I wrote this from the perspective of the Charlie Kirk that I knew, who I based Daniel. Yeah. So this is kind of my this is dedicated to him, and this is my tribute to him. So check it out, and I'm hoping that all my Turning Point people will check it out. You guys have been awesome to support the last two releases, so go and check out this one. So, and as Mort said, it's a thick boy. So may take you more
readers
than
around here. We like thick boys when it comes to books.
Yes.
Not so much when it comes to dudes. That's more a Nick Fuentes and Clavicular thing. We like
Yeah.
big, thick books.
That is true. So.
Facts.
So anyway, I think that'll do it for this week. Unless either of you gentlemen have anything else to promo.
I have one more thing, Sam. Ew, a spider. Sorry.
That'll
Check
work.
out Dave's drink reviews. There's some promo. Dave did a review of like Ultra Pink Punch Monster Energy, and I was just dying laughing the whole time. It's great stuff, Dave. Shout out to Dave.
Does it taste like pineapple though? That's what I need to know.
No, but I don't know. I can't spoil the review, Sam. But it's one of Dave's best.
So you'll just have to watch it and find out for yourself, is what you're saying.
That's right. Check out Gordon Liddy on YouTube.
Alrighty, sounds good then. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week then, or on Monday. So if I can get a guest, so either way, we'll talk to you later.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.